Welcome back to Emerson College Baseball. I am Evan Sharrard alongside Lucas Sims today. Game 1, Emerson lost 8-5 to Wheaton, featuring a Nick Favazzo double and 2 runs scored in the 9th. It was 3 walks that cost Emerson, 3 walks that scored runs, that is. Emerson was able to score 5 runs after only mustering 3 against Clark, their last loss. Emerson now on a 14-game losing streak, and they've never beaten Wheaton. However, this last game they showed fight. Lucas, what do you think Emerson has to do differently in this match to win?
Well, you said it, Evan. That's now 27 straight losses to the Wheaton program. This marks the 10th year in which these two schools have been facing off against each other. But there are positives, like you said, to take out of that first game. I mean, coming into today, Emerson has just averaged 2.31 runs against Wheaton. They put up 5. They doubled that, more than doubled that in the first game. Looking for them to get on that early in this game, get the offense going earlier than they did, and they should be in a position to win with their guy, Chris Lowe, on the mound.
Absolutely. Chris Lowe, their best pitcher this season so far, striking out 22 batters, a sub-6 ERA, which is one of the best on Emerson. He does lead the team in that category. On top of that, Lucas, like you said, they were able to match the offense. They actually out-hit Wheaton last game, 10-9. Wheaton left 15 runners on base. Emerson left 8 on. You got to score some of those runners and strand some of theirs.
Absolutely. And I will say, Wheaton keeping pretty much the same lineup out there today. Despite one change, Sean Calley will be playing left field in the 7 spot. The only change, Emerson shaking up a lot of the lineup today. We have a new leadoff hitter with Justin Fields. We have a freshman batting 9th in Toby Robertson. Despite what I said in game 1, we have Ethan Chantham-Pollitt catching for the Lions, not Robert Posio. The freshman gets the start behind the plate.
First pitch is outside for ball 1. Low underway here. Pitch is lined into center field, sending Favazzo back onto the track, nearing the fence, and he ranges out to make the catch for the first out of the game.
A loud first out for sure, but with the wind blowing in still in game 2, Evan, don't expect to see many or any home runs. Didn't see any in game 1, so we'll see here in game 2.
Now stepping in from the left-handed batter's box, this is Tommy Ambrosini. Game 1, he had 2 times where he scored runs. He sends one right to Ferrara, who will take this himself. Ground ball to first to 3 on the infield for a G3 out number 2.
2 very opposite of the spectrum types of balls there that were hit.
Absolutely.
One to center field at about probably 90 plus miles an hour. That one probably not even 20 miles an hour to first base. Good job for Lowe to bounce back.
Lowe winds up. Mar, the batter from the right-hand side, takes ball 1. And that outside slider. 47 degrees here from East Boston Memorial Park, usually the home of the Suffolk Rams. As Lowe's pitch misses in the same spot it did last time. Low and away, slider, 2-0 count to Mar. Just underway here in the top of the first inning. 2 up, 2 down. Here's the pitch from Lowe. That is fouled just back, bounces off behind the catcher, and Kevin Matos will run over from the on-deck circle to grab this foul ball. Back underway now. Lowe, the windup. The delivery. Up and in, and now the count is even at 2-2. Lowe's 2-2. Taken high and inside, full count. Oh, it was a strike. I just missed that.
It was a good slider. Even almost fooled the umpire there from Lowe. That is definitely his put-away pitch. Look for him to use that a lot when he's ahead in the count today. Another tough take there. That's a ball low. Evan, you know, in the first game, we saw a very tight zone from Butch Crooker, who's now in the field. Home plate umpire is now Matt Gattiani, and he seems to have just as tight of a zone as Butch Crooker did.
Yeah, and a little bit different as well. We've seen first base runner walk here as Mike Maher gets on now. Kevin Matos batting with him on first. Short lead off first. Chris Lowe checks that way. Matos ready for the pitch. Here it is out of the slide. That was strike one. Lucas giving me some of the calls as we have a blocked. I have a blocked angle.
I will say, I mentioned how that slider could be his put-away pitch. Lowe uses it here to get ahead 0-1, and again, not afraid to double up with that pitch. It
Swinging
is really his weapon.
Low ahead in the count. Here's the pitch as the blue line heads by. That ball is outside, so the count will run full. Lowe looks in for the signal. He's got it. Short lead off first. Here's the pitch. That ball is low. And so that is the second ball as my stats are updating in front of me, and I can barely see here. I got to keep better track.
And just to...
That ball hit pretty well, left field. Going back is... And diving, did he make the catch? He did not. It comes out of his glove. Here comes the runner to score all the way to third. And it will be a triple for Kevin Matos. Mike Marr, the batter that scores.
I want to say, Evan, we mentioned a lot in the first game how Anthony Santos-Suoso is really playing the gap today in left field. It kind of burned him there as he almost made a fantastic catch, but that one just out of his reach for a triple.
Yeah, that was always going to be tough for him. And an unfortunate moment for the Emerson Lions early as Matos triples down the left field line.
There's actually been a correction on that. Apparently there's an extra line there, and that ball was considered out of play, so we actually have a ground rule double. So that must have been a ground rule that we did not have privy to before the game, but must have been discussed amongst the coaches, as there's no argument from Wheaton on that. So actually, that's going to retract a run as well, Evan. How about that? So that could be a huge break for the Lions here.
Well, how about that? Runners on second and third with 2 outs. Chris Lowe, another chance to get him out.
So now you have a chance for a scoreless inning here.
That's right. Here's Tim Wagner, right-handed batter, steps in and takes the ball down low at his knees.
That ball went right between Chentham Pollitt's legs there, but not a good read at third base there for Mike Marr.
Tim Wagner, the first baseman, batting .298 before this doubleheader today.
Yeah, that average took a hit, Evan, in game one.
Wagner was hitless and walked once in game one.
Hit a couple of balls hard, though.
Yeah, he was the one that lined the ball right into the chest.
That's right.
It was an L1.
That was right. And then in his last at-bat, almost took one deep, but Favazzo made a great catch.
He swings and misses at that off-speed pitch. Lowe looking for a strikeout, trying to get out of this inning scoreless after that ground rule double was called. And a swing and a miss, he got him. A scoreless inning for Chris Lowe. How about that? Looked like we were going to have a triple that scored a run, a backbreaker. Instead, it's a scoreless first. Emerson and Wheaton, 0-0 after the top half of the first. Coming to bat for the Lions, it'll be Justin Fields leading off, followed by Nick Favazzo and Briggs Loveland. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first.
I'm going to start the stream again.
All right, welcome back. I am Evan Sharrard alongside Lucas Sims, getting ready for the bottom half of the first inning. Emerson coming to bat after a scoreless top of the first. Chris Lowe evading damage after a triple that scored a run was called back for a ground rule double, and then he struck out the following batter. Now Justin Fields will be leading off against Ben Oliveira, the tall righty on the mound and ready to go. Justin Fields made plenty of plays in that first game at the shortstop position as he takes the first pitch outside for ball one. Justin Fields receiving encouragement from the team as he takes the first pitch for strike one on the outside corner. Sun starting to come out here in East Boston at East Boston Memorial Park. The sunniest it's been as this is a ground ball right to second, coming over and grabbing that and gunning it to first base. A nice play by Beauregard, 4-3 putout for the first out of the bottom of the first. And Briggs Loveland catches a bat, sends it into the on-deck circle to Chris Ferrara, who will wait in the hole. And now it'll be Nick Favazzo, doubled and singled back in the first game. It was 2 for 4 as he lines this one foul down the third base line into the bullpen, rattling off the fence. Everybody all right. Favazzo stands back in behind 0-1 now. Favazzo provides speed on the base paths, and he's recently shown some power. Career highlight of a walk-off grand slam last year. Favazzo takes a pitch inside. There's a ball.
Come on, Ben.
One hit for Wheaton in the top of the first. Nobody scored so far here in the bottom half of the first inning. Here's the pitch to Favazzo. That's high. Fastball misses. Favazzo and crew have been having plenty of disciplined at-bats in this game, and earlier today in game one they lost 8-5 but out hit as Favazzo swings through a fastball for strike two. Count even to Nick Favazzo. Favazzo, not just a member of the baseball team, also Jimmy's traveling all-star, as this funny man hits it to third, scooped on a hop and played to first just in time to get Favazzo. 6 not to be, 5-3 put out as Favazzo is down and gets a pat on the back from his first base coach as he jogs back. And now batting, number 12, the second baseman from Texas, it's Briggs Loveland. Briggs is the team leader in home runs with 3. Loveland hitting 389 before today. Here's the first pitch to him. That's high, ball one. Briggs, a member of the Box Score, an Emerson television show all about sports, doing lots of correspondent work out at TD Garden.
Sports comm major, I believe.
Sports comm major. He'll be, no, journalism, I believe.
Journalism minor in sports comm, I believe.
And Briggs will be on the Box Score episode hosted by Noah Berkowitz this Tuesday. So you can catch him there talking sports as he's playing it, as this is fouled out past the dugout section of Wheaton for strike number 2.
Working downhill. Defense work. Come on, Ben, let's go.
2 balls on Briggs. And excuse me, that was strike 1. The wind behind the head, the throw, the pitch. Oliveira up high. So ball 3. Briggs trying to work himself on base for the first time on this game.
You know, Evan, we talked a lot about in the first game, we saw many different arm angles. Well, Oliveira seems to have one of the most over-the-top deliveries I've seen, not just today, in general, across the D3 level.
As that one's popped up and well out of play, this time down the third base line. A little late to that. Briggs just has to straighten out his swing. He's in a full count now with 2 outs. Nobody on. No hits so far here in the bottom of the first. 0-0. Loveland, the full count. Here's the pitch from Oliveira. Lined into center field. That is going to be caught by the shortstop. Nice catch on the run by Maher. Side retired in order. Good start for Oliveira. As P6 to end the inning. We'll be right back with the top of the second, where we'll see Casey Wensley lead off, Sean Calley playing his first game of the day, and Tyler Bellin catching his second game of the day. We'll be right back, 0-0 after 1 from East Boston Memorial Park. Two more pitches till the start of the second inning. One scoreless inning so far for Chris Lowe. He got them nearly in order, but then after he got 2 outs, there was a double, and we thought that it was initially a triple. And what ended up happening is it was called back because of a ground rule. And so instead of having it being a 1-run triple, it was a no-run ground rule double, and Lowe was able to strand the runners by striking out Tim Wagner, and now it's Casey Wensley in the left-handed batter's box to lead off the top of the second as he takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate.
And that's going to be the ticket to Lowe's success all day. First pitch strikes. We didn't see a lot of that early on from Emerson pitching last game. We saw more of it towards the end. Gonna need that from the starter today.
And that's when they had their scoreless innings, as this one misses up and away for ball 1. Wensley manning the hot corner in this game and the game that started at noon today. It's in a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That is low and away for ball 2. 2-1 count to Wensley. Lowe kicking around on the mound, the ball in his glove. Stretches his arms. Now he's ready to wind up the kick. Here's the pitch. This one is in there. A take and a strike. 2-2.
Come on, Case. Come on, Case.
Casey Wensley had 2 hits and a stolen base, including a walk back in the first inning of Game 1 today. And now he's run the count full. Wensley, a .298 hitter before today's game, so certainly a hot bat and a good one too. Here's the pitch from Lowe. That is grounded right back to Lowe. He'll run on and toss it underhanded to Ferraro. 1-3 easy put out to start the second. Now stepping in, it will be Sean Calley getting his first action in the batter's box today. Didn't play in the first half of the doubleheader. He'll be playing left field today, and he bats right-handed. And now the first pitch from Lowe is inside, called strike 1.
Another first pitch strike. Love to see that from Lowe.
That's really important. It's huge. You get ahead. 0-1 is completely different from 1-0.
Absolutely. A world's difference.
And a swing and a miss and an inside pitch, as having to scoop this one right back up is Chantham Pollitt. 0-2 to Sean Calley. Low kicks. A delayed delivery this time. Trying to throw him off.
Ooh.
That is a ball really close. Lucas, what'd you think there?
That was a very close pitch. So close that Lowe actually took a little stroll around the mound to compose himself. Normally a guy that's like, give me the ball and let's go, but needed a second there, and rightfully so. That was a very good pitcher's pitch. Could have went either way.
Now the 1-2, that is low as it bounces in the dirt in the opposite batter's box. Thrown back by Chantham Pollitt. Lowe tosses the ball in his hands, looking to get right back on it. Now the windup from Lowe. Here's the pitch. That is low again, and so Low throws it low and runs it full count. 1 out, nobody on. Nothing here in the start of the second inning. Ground ball. Low can't get it. Fielded there and making the play at first base. How about that? 5-3.
Braden O'Connell, what a play. DH'd in the first game, back in the lineup at third for game 2, and I think he's locked in, Evan.
Yeah, he had to sprint on to grab that one. That one reminded me a lot of that final out of the 2016 World Series. Not nearly in as big of a spot, but he had to run on about 10 feet right in front of him and make a throw falling away from his body just in time to retire Callie, and now it'll be Tyler Bellin as he steps in.
And I'm going to say it again, another first pitch strike, and not only that, I've noticed a lot of first pitch sliders from Lowe so far. He's given up soft contact on every hitter, it seems like, except the first hitter of the day.
Yes.
So a great job. Hopefully Lowe can settle in and give this team a nice, long, quality start.
This count is 1-1. Here's the pitch from Lowe. Swing and a miss. And so the stats were wrong, and Lucas Sims was right. That's 3 pitches and a strikeout to retire the side. We will be right back with the bottom half of the second. It's 0-0 so far. 1 hit for Wheaton, none for Emerson. Chris Ferrara, Braden O'Connell, and Anthony Santuoso to bat next. Don't go anywhere. Emerson Baseball will be right back with the bottom half of the second. Coach is back in position. The bottom half of the second inning about to get underway as Chris Ferrara stepping into the batter's box from the right-handed side. Oliveira talking with his shortstop as they go around the horn one last time. Ready to go. Ben Oliveira takes the mound. Rolls up his sleeve. Ferrara taps the plate. Umpire with his mask back on. We're ready to go in the bottom half of the second. Here's the first pitch, the windup over the head. Oliveira's pitch is high, ball 1.
Ferrara drove in a run in game 1. Looking to play the role of leadoff hitter here and set the table.
Ferrara was a 2-hit man in game 1. 2 for 4. He grounded out to make the second out, or the first out rather, of the 9th inning. So batting here in the second, game 2, as he takes a strike. A little shake in the glove and the pitch from Oliveira, Juan Soto style almost, as Ferrara brings his head all the way to the ball, really watching that in. And Emerson's done a great job of watching pitches today and seeing the ball late and letting that ball get in deep before they swing. They out-hit Wheaton, and that's a strikeout swinging. The ball got out, and before the catcher can scoop and throw to first, Ferrara is called out as that was caught by the catcher in the mitt. Bellin making a nice play. Ferrara down swinging. The first strikeout of the day for Ben Oliveira, and now that'll bring up Braden O'Connell. And O'Connell led off in game 1, and he had 1 hit and a sac hit back in the 7th of that game. In the 9th inning, he got his hit. He struck out twice, 1 for 5 with a hard line out to left as well. He's behind 0-1 and swings, sending one up the middle. Nice snag to his left, throwing back to his right, and just in time to get him. 4-3, what a play made by Beauregard. Beauregard had to dive back to his left to make that play. It was well hit that time by O'Connell, and he's able to get the second out of the inning in order. Now it'll be Anthony Santuoso. Here's the first pitch. Right down the middle for strike one to Santuoso. Now Oliveira starting to get into these early counts ahead. Throwing those first pitch strikes, like you said, Chris Lowe is doing a great job of, Lucas. There's strike two right down the plate as well. Santuoso steps out of the batter's box, takes a practice swing. The screech of the blue line heard in the background. Now the pitch, the kick, ground ball, right to third. Dribbling and firing over to the first base side, 6-3, put out, 5-3 rather. They go in order again, no hits for Emerson, one hit for Wheaton. Down in order goes Emerson, and up to bat, Wheaton will send out Tommy Beauregard, the second baseman, to lead off. A.J. Jinden batting second, and Tommy Ambrosini will bat third. Those are the batters coming up. Back onto the mound to warm up is Chris Lowe. We'll be right back after this short break.
Start it, kid.
Tommy Beauregard just about to get us back underway here for the top half of the third. Wheaton has one hit so far.
Beauregard flashing the leather last half inning, now in a position to set the table for his team.
Come on, kid.
There's the first pitch from Lowe. That is going to... Well, I didn't quite see that. Lucas, did he
that was
hit the bat?
bunt attempt, actually.
Bunt attempt,
Evan.
okay.
Trying to bunt for a hit here.
Come on, Bo. Come on, baby. Come on, Bo.
Top of the order on deck for Wheaton.
Jinden and Ambrosini will bat next. Here's the pitch. That is in there for a strike. Low ahead 0-2 like he does so frequently. The pitch from Lowe is on the way and taken. He checked his swing, didn't go, ball one.
Let's see, Tommy had a point.
Come on, Bo. Come on, kid. Come on, Bo.
Hey, 2-1,
Come on, Bo.
hey, Bo.
The pitch swung on in the air to right field. Under it and making the catch in right is Roberts.
We're finally back up. Welcome back, PlaySite listeners. We're back.
And for those of you listening on radio, we got the stream for PlaySite up. We are simulcasting this to the camera on PlaySite and on this radio right here on Evan Sharrard Media. That pitch is in there for a strike.
Go get news.
So after the fly out to right field, that brings up A.J. Jinden. Flew out to center. His first at-bat of the game. Ambrosini will go over and grab this foul ball as he's in the on-deck circle. Moving back to his spot now, picking up the bat. Back into the batter's box. The righty, Jinden, ready for the pitch. behind 0-2. Lowe's pitch, grounded. That's a fair ball. Grabbing this up as the catcher. Throw is offline and into right field, but luckily there is Briggs to grab this ball. Chris Ferrara on the ground. Hopefully he's okay. He gets up rather gingerly. And he'll fix his sock. Looks like he is okay. Stirrups, bringing them back up. And yep, he's all right. Briggs throws the ball back to Lowe. And so the first base runner since the first inning. Wheaton gets on with A.J. Jinden as Shantham Pollitt couldn't make the play.
And you know, Evan, Brigham Loveland backing that up. Huge right there, saved extra bases, but also the freshman Toby Roberts in right field getting a start today, also backing that up. Those little things are so important.
Runner goes. Throw is going to be late. It's a stolen base for Jinden.
Those little things are so important, you know, even on a 14-game slide, to see that the Lions are still doing those little things and staying focused. They want to win, and, you know, sooner or later they're going to get back into that win column, and hopefully it's right here.
0-0 game. Well put, Lucas. 2 hits for Wheaton after the single by Jinden. He just stole a base, runner in scoring position. There's a fly ball hit well into center field. Favazzo says he's got it. He grabs it with his left, throws it with his right, running and tagging and making it to third base with a slide is Jinden. So the runner now at third as the ball is brought back to Lowe. Jinden advancing, and the closest that they have been since the first inning to scoring after that triple that was not to be, ruled a ground rule double.
Proving pivotal.
Runner. Yeah.
Proving pivotal. I can't say the word pivotal.
Pivotal, yes.
Proving pivotal so far, as Emerson's being no hit through 2 innings. But that slider for Lowe, truly working right now, Evan.
He's gotten ahead of a lot of hitters. He does again. There's strike 1 once more. 2 outs, runner on third. Emersoni just flew out to center. Here's the pitch from Lowe. That one is low. Oh no, that's going to be strike 2. He was swinging at that one. And now 0-2.
Evan, I think our view's a little harder because the Wheaton on deck batters have moved up into where they're standing. It's a little harder for us to see now as that's rocketed.
Lined into right. Will this get down? Oh my goodness, what a catch! What a catch, he held on! Unbelievable catch by Roberts! And they'll strand the runner at third base again. Toby Roberts didn't play a second of the first game, but he just made a miraculous diving catch in right field to strand the runner at third base. Still 0-0, only 2 hits. All of Emerson out of the dugout as they reach and jumping in the air to meet him it's as if he just hit a walk-off homer with that catch. What a play! Some expletives shouted with joy as Blake Benway will lead off the bottom of the third. Emerson just got away from a run crossing. No runs scored so far after that emphatic play in right field by Toby Roberts. Lucas, have you seen anything like that this season?
That was play of the year by far. To keep it a scoreless game, Toby Roberts, shout out to him, the freshman, coming ready to play. And he should be up this inning if I'm not mistaken. He's due up third.
That's right. We're going to have Benway, Shantham Pollitt, and Roberts to bat. Benway, the .255 hitter before today, was hitless in game 1. Got on with a fielder's choice, popped out to right in the 8th and stole a base after he walked in the 4th, but he would not come to pass. And now he will step into the batter's box as the last warm-up pitch is thrown. Ball flipped around the horn one more time. Base coach back out. Benway talking with the umpire, greeting him again. Stepping in at the left side batter's box.
8-2-3, come on, Ben.
Now the senior will step in to take his hacks from the left side. Here's the pitch. That is strike 1, high and away. 0-1 from Oliveira. Hasn't allowed a hit so far. Swing and a miss. He fooled Benway on that pitch.
That was a good change up there from Oliveira.
Oliveira changing the pace. See what he does here in the 0-2. Over the top of his head to kick the deal. That one is well high, way out.
I think it's very interesting to note that, you know, the starting pitcher in game one, McCallum,
McCarroll.
pardon me, had the over the head wind up, and we're seeing that here from Oliveira as well. Not sure if that's intentional from the Wheaton coaching staff.
As Benway strikes out, dropped by the catcher, thrown out at first. So that's a strikeout for Benway, the first out here of the bottom half of the third.
Ezra Charles, an Emerson pitcher, has adopted that into his windup this year, going over the head instead of just a straight up traditional windup. It's working for Oliveira so far.
Ethan Shanthapalit takes strike one down the plate. His first at bat of the day, playing his first game of the day. Shanthapalit, a 200 hitter on the season. There's a ball just outside.
On base is also exactly 200, Evans, so see what he can do here. Try to stay above the Mendoza line.
Absolutely. He checked his swing. Did he go around? And the umpire says he did. Strike two.
No appeal needed there. That was definitely a swing.
1-2 count. The train to Bowdoin is on its way. And here is the pitch on its way as well. Oliveira bounces it. And that's ball two.
Come on, Ben. Come on, Ben. Okay, here we go.
Oliveira comes off the mound, will take a kick at the dirt,
Let's go, Ben. Let's go, Ben.
finding his spot right back out on the mound. He likes the third pitch.
Go, Ben.
Here's the windup. Oliveira. Low and a full count to Shanthapalit. Emerson trying to work their first base runner of the game. They might get it right here.
Go, Ben. Hey, Benny, I'm big.
Toby Roberts, who made that sensational catch in right field, on deck. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Back-to-back Ks for Oliveira.
That is a firm, lively fastball from Oliveira. He's using it to his advantage so far. Shanthapalit very late on that swing. See if Roberts can translate the stellar defense into some offensive production here.
Roberts, the righty, stepping in with the hoodie and takes ball one.
Martha's Vineyard native, I believe.
Come on, Ben.
A coastal kid.
Defense work.
Mass born and raised. In a 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. That one low. Now 2-0 to Roberts. Nobody on, 2 outs. 4:09 Eastern time for listeners and viewers in other places. A chilly one in East Boston today. Now the pitch in the 2-0 is well inside. And they're going to say that it did, in fact, hit him. So Roberts hit in what would have been the third ball. So they'll just give him the base at first. First hit by pitch and the first base runner of the day for Emerson.
That's big, Evan, because now you turn it over to the top of the order, and we saw it. The more the Lions saw McCarroll in the first game, the better they started hitting him. So that's big here.
Second at bat for Justin Fields. He grounded out back in the first inning. Runner is going to stay put. Roberts thought about it as the first pitch is called for strike one. Emerson's dugout does not like that. 1 on, 2 outs. No hits for Emerson and a 0-0 game here in the bottom half of the third.
Ooh.
Checks his swing and an excuse me foul ball out past the dugout to the left side and out of play.
Oliveira's been perfect till that walk, but he averages a whip of over 2, so love to see Emerson be able to get some more base runners on and make his job a little harder.
And it's a cold day, so not the best control. As the runner goes, Roby is going to be out. That's the first runner thrown out of the day. Perfect throw that time by Bellin, and he guns him down to end the inning. Emerson nothing, Wheaton nothing. We come back for the top half of the fourth, where we will see Mar, Matos, and Wagner at the very least. 0-0. You are listening to Evan Sharrard Media and Playsight. I'm Evan Sharrard alongside Lucas Sims. We'll be right back with the top half of the fourth.
Just what he's doing.
We are back with the top half of the fourth inning. Chris Lowe warming up on the mound. One more warm-up pitch, and then we will see Mike Marr step in.
I don't want to get ahead of myself here, Evan, but
Or Kevin Matos, my bad.
a little bit of a pitcher's duel brewing here. We got a no-hitter through 3 for Oliveira, CeeLo for the Lions. 3 scoreless innings, just 2 hits. A little bit of a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel so far.
It has been a joy to watch after the struggling that pitchers had. Even if they played well in game 1, it seemed like there were a lot of guys getting on base with whether it was the walks or just some numbers off the end of the bat that allowed runners to get on. This one has been a lot more clean.
I mean, look at McCarroll. The day he had was certainly terrific, but he only went 5, right? So,
yes.
To your point, Evan, didn't go necessarily deep into that game despite the 11 strikeouts and the stellar performance.
And the strikeouts are really why he was able to go as far as he did, because without those, Emerson probably would have scored a couple more runs as this 0-2 pitch to Matos is low. Well, going back to the back of the mound, getting some rosin for his hands. Now the pitch in 1-2. The outside corner, just on the outside corner. It'll be 2-2.
And again, some disgruntled groans from the Emerson side. But again, consistent zone. It's been the same for the first 3 innings. Got to expect it now.
Now the 2-2, swing and a miss. He struck him out. And that is the first out and the first strikeout of the 4th inning. 3rd of the day for Lowe. As Matos will walk back.
That was actually, I believe, his 50th pitch of the day. So pretty good, steady pitch count for Lowe. Want to keep it right around here. About 10 pitches an inning.
That's exactly what I was about to say. 10 pitches an inning and you're golden. First pitch from Lowe is going to be called a strike to Tim Wagner. Wagner 0 for 1 with a K.
Now, as if the obstruction that we have of a view here, Evan, this umpire, Matt Gattiani, really likes to wait a little bit before he makes every call.
Yes, he does.
So you're always on the edge of your seat.
We're guessing out here as that ball misses in the dirt. That one definitely a ball. 1-1. Here's Lowe's pitch. Grounded foul right toward the fans and hitting the fence. Coach Venanaki out to get that one.
I want to say too, the 2 hits against Lowe were not hard hit balls.
Not at all.
We saw the chopper in front of the mound that Chentham Pollock couldn't really make a play on. I believe that was scored a hit since there's no errors in the column.
That's right.
So, and the other one I believe was just a bloop single.
Lowe 1-2 right down the plate. Strike 3 looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chris Lowe. He's getting into a bit of a groove.
Absolutely, and it's that slider. I told you from the pregame on till now, it's going to be a vital pitch for him to have success today, and clearly he has command of it.
Yeah.
Not only that, the fastball command is there, the changeup is there. CeeLo really in a groove now, like you said, Evan.
Now we have some...
We could interview him.
We have...
Ground ball out.
Ground ball out to end the 4th inning for Wheaton. Another scoreless inning. 1-2-3 they go. Great start from Chris Lowe so far. And we are about to get back to you with the top half or the bottom half of the 4th. Emerson coming to bat with the top of the order. It will be Justin Fields, Nick Favazzo, and Briggs Loveland. I'm Evan Sharrard alongside Lucas Sims. We'll be right back after this. And we're back for the bottom half of the fourth inning, joined by Trey Fucillo and Lucas Sims here. We've got Connor Rubin here as well. Both former members of the baseball team. One part of the local government here in Massachusetts with Marlboro.
A lot of great baseball players became politicians. That's what I'm hearing.
It is a pleasure to have them both in the booth. And if you guys don't mind, we might ask you a couple questions while you're here.
Sounds good. It's a pleasure to be here. Happy to be back with the Lions. And boy, is this a good game we got.
Yeah, we got a pitching duel, Trey. Right now is 0-2. Fields swings and misses at that pitch.
You know, normally, Trey, it's more of a trek to see us play Wheaton, even if it's a home game. But due to scheduling conflicts, we're here at Eastie. What do you think?
Oh, it's great. It's great to be home in the 617, the Boston area. I mean, that's we don't get a lot of home games, and this is about as close to home as we're going to get.
That is exactly what I said before the game.
Great to see the purple and white out there today.
Last pitch fouled off by Fields, 0-2. Here's the pitch from Oliveira. That one's in the dirt, ball one. And Trey, you've been all over the place. This past 2 years for you has really been, first, it's enough to be in college. That's one thing. And then to be playing baseball and then say, to heck with it. You know what? I'm going to go out for my local government as this is lined into right field. That's going to fall. A pop-up will line in for the first hit of the day. No hitter broken up here, if you can call it that, in the fifth inning, as Justin Fields will single into center.
I'm sorry. If I'm Oliveira, I'm a little frustrated there. Yeah, it's a bloop single, but I'd like to see maybe the second baseman, Beauregard, or the center fielder, Ginden, maybe lay out for that ball, because it seemed to hang in the air for a while. Thought they had a chance to catch it and preserve that no-hitter.
Yeah, and then you just have your outfielder back you up right there.
Yeah, as you were saying, Trey, you're a guy who wears many hats and has the last 2 years. How's the city council gig going?
Not too shabby. It's I think it's very Emersonian to wear many hats, and I think a lot of the members of the baseball team do that. And that's what a lot of the folks listening don't get to see. A lot of these guys have really interesting day jobs. And
Favazzo bunts. Pitcher picks it up, throws it to first, got Nick. Oh, just in time. He hip checked and making sure that everyone's okay.
Wagner seemed a little displeased. I think Favazzo might have accidentally clipped his foot there.
Yeah, he got him in the side for sure.
But tricky play there. Well, here you go. Here's your RBI guy.
It's Briggs Loveland.
One of your RBI guys.
One of them, yeah. He's just got to his numbers worth of RBIs. He's got 12 now. He had 3 in game 1 today.
They're attacking him high and in so far. I saw that a lot in game 1 and again here in game 2.
Just trying to make it as hard as they can for him to time up the fastball. Get him no time to react. Ahead 1-0. Loveland stands in. Runner on second is Fields. There's strike one up high.
Well, you're hitless through the first 3. Now all of a sudden you're in a position to take the first lead of the ball game here. Need Loveland to come through with one of his patented RBI singles here.
Emerson 1 and 2 when they score first. It's only happened 3 times this season. A golden opportunity with Loveland up at the plate. Briggs in a 2-1 count. About a 5-foot lead off of second base is Fields. Here's the pitch, fouled off just behind the backstop. Catcher goes to get it. Fires back. Oliveira's got it. Back onto the mound he goes. Loveland with a couple kicks of the bat. And he'll step right back into the batter's box.
So Trey, as a former player, what would be your thought process here? Runner on second, 2 strikes. Need a run here. What's your thought process as a hitter?
Well, with Briggs up to bat here, really trying to pull the ball, get Justin over to third. And ball up there. Trying to get Justin over to third, give us a chance here, even with 2 outs. I really trust the guy on deck, Chris Ferrari. He's a great RBI hitter. He's a great hitter with runners in scoring position. So I think these are the best 2 hitters to have up in this situation. 2 guys who are very clutch. It takes 2 hands to count all the walk-offs these guys got. So.
And speaking of walk, that is a walk for Briggs Loveland, and 2 on, 1 out, and now Chris Farrar, the grad student, coming in, maybe driving in 2 here.
Who better to have up, Evan, than Chris Ferrara?
maybe only the guy before him, and arguably, I'd say that this guy's the best to have up. Here he is.
Emerson needs to score here.
First pitch.
Too many runners left on in scoring position in game one.
And that slider was just called outside. A good take from Ferrara. The zone tightening up as there are 2 runners on, one in scoring position, one on first. Loveland just walked. Fields got to base with a bloop single, and he's on second. About 5 feet off, going back and forth, trying to get Oliveira to think about him. He checks him again, now pitches. And quickly out in stride, another ball. Ahead in the count, 2-0.
Don't want to fall behind to Chris Ferrara here. I expect him to be aggressive in this 2-0 count. Probably a fastball count here, especially with Oliveira missing with a slider there.
Now the 2-0, here it is. Popped up well out of play, right behind the backstop, and it falls innocently to the ground.
There's
Strike
some
one.
frustration there from Ferrara. That was his pitch to hit, and he just got under it and was just a little late on it.
Yep. Oliveira standing in. His first hiccup of the day, having some trouble. That's at second base. He's got to work out of it. He's got 1 out. 2-1 count to Ferrara. Here's the pitch. That's low. 3-1 to Chris Ferrara. Chance to load the bases. If Ferrara should reach, Braden O'Connell will bat. O'Connell had a single back in the 9th inning of game 1, and he would come across to score. Hitters count, 3-1. Here's the pitch. Fouled off right back to the backstop off the top of Ferrara's bat.
And you know,
Strike 2.
that's, Evan, I have to say that might have been a bit of a chase there from Ferrara. 3-1. I know he's anxious in the 3-1 count to get a hit. Might have been ball 4 there. It's close. It would have been close. But
Yeah, the thing is, though, if you get the bat barrel right on that thing's either gapped or out of
such
here.
a good
'cause
high ball hitter.
Yeah, that was really high. Good swing, but he was chasing. You're right. Full count.
I wouldn't be shocked to see another high fastball here, Evan.
And he will disengage, stepping off the mound.
I would not be surprised to see him double up on that high fastball. Maybe even a little higher here. I know it's 3-2. You don't want to walk him, but
We'll see what they do. Here's the full count. Runners on first and second with 1 away. Here's the pitch.
There it is.
Ground ball left side. This is going to be a tough play. Got him at first. Got him at second. They turn the double play. 6-4-3. That's how you draw it up. Wheaton gets out of it as they turn 2. No runs come to pass in the 4th inning despite having a runner in scoring position with Ferrara on to bat. 0-0. 1 hit for Emerson in the inning, 2 hits for Wheaton in the game. Wheaton coming to bat in the top half of the 5th, as we will see the top half of their order. It'll be A.J. Jinden, Tommy Ambrosini, and Mike Maher. We'll be right back. Base coach is back out there for Wheaton, and now stepping in will be Sean Calley. So excuse me for telling you the wrong part of the order that's coming up. There's one box that I didn't cross out, and that was the key box that I needed to have crossed out because that would tell me where we are in the order. So it's going to be Casey Wensley to start off, the righty.
got 6, 7, 8 up, I believe.
Yep. 6, 7, and 8 is.
And you know, Evan,
Wensley takes a strike.
Wheaton has 2 hits, obviously, on the day, but obviously they're not looking as sharp offensively. You got to think, having only made 1 change in the lineup, maybe a little bit of fatigue here showing.
Yes. And excuse me, again, not only did I get the order wrong, but this is Sean Calley, not Wensley.
I'm going to confirm. that this is indeed Sean Callie.
Thank you.
Because I also mixed that up as well.
Yeah. Well, it's a 1-2 count now as Callie swings and misses.
Trey, can you confirm that this is in fact Sean Callie?
This is in fact Sean Callie.
Okay.
I can confirm that.
Thank you.
We get it from a public official. That is down and low.
So Trey, actually, on a more serious note, obviously, you spent your playing days catching. What have you seen out of CeeLo so far today as someone who's caught him in the past?
CeeLo's always been a really sharp arm. Executes his fastballs really well and executes his off speed even better. He's not going to blow it by you.
That is right up the middle, off the glove of Loveland and into center field for what I believe will be scored a hit. That was hit pretty hard.
That Loveland got to that ball, just hit off his glove. He did a little somersault pass to the second base bag. A great effort there.
Let's go, Ty.
He did everything he could to get to that ball, as now Bellin will be batting.
Come on, boy. Come on.
Short lead, maybe 3 feet off of first base. Lowe checks his runner. 1 on, nobody out. A bunt attempt. That's down. Lowe chasing after it. Runner gets to second. The throw just in time as he scoops it and guns it right to Ferrara. But the runner advances on the sac bunt.
That's a part of CeeLo's game that I think is immensely underrated. I can remember first practice of the season, he took PFPs more seriously than anybody else. He was always eager to be out there, and he always executes in a game. He is the guy that bounces off the mound. It's a cat-like instinct, and it is really impressive.
Hey, Bo. Hey, Bo. Come on, Bo. Come on, kid. Come on, team.
Well said, Trey.
I must say, the pitchers today are battling with a very, I'm going to say, unique mound, Evan. It is a half turf, half mound, slash mud.
It's something.
It's everything all in one, but
yeah, it's the outside world.
gotta make do.
Go. Come on, Bo. Come on, kid. Come on.
As strike one was delivered to Tommy Beauregard. Beauregard was the victim of the catch by
Roberts.
The catch by Toby Roberts in right field. I mean, what a catch that was. That ball gets away, a wild pitch. Runner will advance to third.
That looked to be the second ball through the 5-hole for Chentham Pollitt. That's a very tough pitch to block.
So what do you think? That's wild pitch or pass ball?
I would give that one a pass ball personally. I think that one was right in front of him. Got to be one you got to try and have, but no harm, no foul yet. Still a runner just on third. And Trey, as a former catcher, how
Come on, Bo. Come on.
how important of a skill is blocking, and how do you get better at that as a catcher?
Line one up, and it's a double play. What a play by O'Connell. They seem to get this kind of luck all day. That's the third double play of the day that has been unassisted. Wow.
Trey, we'll hold on to that question for after the break.
Sounds good.
We need to process what we just saw. What a play by Braden O'Connell, the freshman showing out with the leather today.
My goodness. All right, Trey. Now what do you think about blocking? Come on.
Oh, man, I think blocking doesn't compare to what that was. I mean,
How about that?
and how about it? The freshman showing out today with the leather for Emerson, and it is a sight to see. Toby Roberts earlier and right, that was really impressive. But back to the blocking. Back in my day, there was no such thing as a pass ball. I only believe in wild pitches, but I think my pitchers might disagree with me. But,
Yeah, I would disagree with that as a pitcher myself.
But that was those are always the tough ones, the fastballs that get spiked kind of early in front of the plate. It's a ball that you got to smother, but easier said than done. So,
Holy cow. Lucas, did you guys ever have any practices where you were just really angry with what Trey's doing back behind the plate?
No
The
comment.
line?
No comment.
No comment.
I do
Wow.
live with Trey, so I'm going to keep it cordial.
Oh, all
here.
right. Yeah, got to keep
Nah, absolutely. Trey was a dog, and I did love pitching. And every catcher on this staff is so, competent, and they're so good at many different things. And, I think it goes to show, look, we had one of our veterans start game one, and then you have the freshmen come in and start game two. It shows that head coach Nick Vinocchi really trusts any of the guys to go out there and do a job.
Absolutely does, as we're just about to get the bottom half of the fifth underway. And guess who's batting? It's Braden O'Connell, the man who just made the incredible double play happen at third base, unassisted. First pitch from Oliveira. Now he's swinging right to second as it chopped. And it'll be a 6-3 putout as O'Connell not quite fast enough to run that one out. bring up Anthony Santosuoso.
You know, not only is head coach Nick Vinacchi showing he trusts anyone to be the backstop, but, I mean, look, he put Roberts into that. He's trusting everyone from the top, bottom, freshman to senior. Changing things up, and it's proved to be at least effective on the defensive side so far. And now we're just looking to see it be effective on the offensive side.
As we have Ezra Charles and Bryson Aikens sending some kisses this way. They are reciprocated. Ezra also doing some other things.
Ezra always a prankster on this team.
Move back to the action on the field as that's ball 2. 1 out, no scoring. Wheaton has 3 hits, Emerson 1. This is a very different game from the first.
You know, Evan, not to cut you off, but while we're talking about Ezra, I just want to tell a quick little story.
The man from Baltimore, Pikesville.
There's a bloop. There's a bloop.
That is going to be caught in left field. What a play. Sliding and making the play in left field is Sean Calley.
We are getting treated to some spectacular defense on both ends of the diamond today.
Absolutely.
Looks
really
like the
nice
Boston
play.
Red Sox. I mean, wow.
How was that game last night?
No comment.
Lucas, a Mets fan. Lucas, how are the Mets doing? Are they still leading 3-1?
Let's take a look.
That ball
We'll do a
is in
drive
for
around the
strike
majors
1.
soon. We'll do a drive around the majors in a couple innings. But while you're asking, the New York Mets, for all you New Jerseyans, and mind you, and New Yorkers, we have a lot of those on this Emerson team. The Mets held on to win 3-1 today. So
How
there
about
you go.
that? I'd like a 3-1 win from Emerson today. Looks like it could happen. Benway.
Back to what I was saying, though,
1-1
obviously on a 13-game skid coming into the day, Ezra, I caught some flack from him earlier. Apparently the team is adopting a no facial hair policy to try and change the superstitious kind of luck around the
So
team.
what you're saying is that you're not going along and you're a bad teammate.
Well, I will be honest. I did not hear about this until today, but, you know, head coach Nick Vinacchi did tell me I have a face fit for radio when I shaved last time. So
Oh, goodness.
I think it'll be a treat to everyone if I don't shave. But I think for now the beard will stay, especially if we're able to get a win here. I have to feel like I have to keep the beard.
Yeah, I think Benny Guevara would agree with you. He's always had that go-to goatee. It's been good for him. This pitch is low to Benway.
For those listening, I am freshly shaven, so I am in support of the team today.
There you go for Trey. I unfortunately do have a beard going on right now. Not quite as impressive as Lucas's.
But my point to all this is I'm very surprised that a Boston-based team would adopt a New York Yankee policy to try and change, you know, the mojo a little bit. That surprised me very much, but hey.
Anything it takes to win, man.
Absolutely.
That's ball 4 to Blake Benway as he gets one on. So 2 outs, and Benway reaches on first base, still standing on the base. Oliveira leans in. You can see the breath coming out of his mouth. It says it's 47 degrees. It feels like it's in the upper 30s.
So with their
Shantham Pollitt swings and misses at the first pitch.
with their win today, Wheaton is now 4-1 in conference play. They have overtaken Coast Guard in the conference with that win, and Coast Guard is their next opponent this week. So they will look to further bury them behind them later this week.
It's a competitive top of the crop in the NEWMAC.
Emerson will have, I believe, WPI next week. I'll have to double check that for their next game. Yeah, it is WPI. Who handed Wheaton their only conference loss so far, 2-0 shutout. Rare you see this Wheaton lineup get shut out, especially in conference play, but WPI had something to say last week.
Right now we're seeing it as they are pitching. Oliveira has only allowed 1 hit so far through 5. He's got 2 outs and runner on. This ball's taken low, and Shantham Pollitt has worked back from 0-2 to 2-2. Count even. Now, this is what I've always found interesting about baseball is we call it an even count, but in the grand scheme of things, 3-2 is even because you're a strike away and a ball away from walking.
Oh,
And that's right back to the pitcher as it's grounded. 1-3, that's that.
I'll have to mull over that over the break, Evan.
You got it. We'll come back with that. Emerson strands 1 runner. 1-3 put out will go to the top of the 6th. 0-0 after 5. A.J. Jinden stepping in for his third at-bat of the day. Got a hit back in the third inning and stole a base, but he was stranded at third.
So, Evan, I have a question for you. I've been mulling over this 3-2 count question.
Yes.
So my question to you, would a 2-2 count be a full count?
I see what you did there. I could see how you could switch that around. You could call it full, but it would be, it's full because you got as many strikes and as many balls. Even because it's literally an even number to an even number, 2-2. I guess you're right.
I think it's the good old-fashioned case of a rectangle's a square, but a square is not a rectangle.
Square is not a rectangle. Absolutely.
I think that's what we're dealing with
Absolutely.
here.
I agree. Well put, Luke. Well put, Lucas.
I really wanted to know. I thought about this over the break.
Yeah.
I did. I consulted Trey.
Good.
What are your thoughts, Trey?
It's one of those things that I agree with you. I don't think I'd ever thought of it until now. Yeah, it's interesting that we call it an even count when it is in fact not even.
That's 2-1 as Jinden got ahead and swung and missed at that off-speed pitch down. Chris Lowe working a dandy so far, only giving up 3 runs. It's on the ground, left side, just past the third baseman and into left field for a base hit on the ground. Jinden thinking about 2, and he will head back to first as it's thrown in to Loveland. And that is a single, 4th hit of the day, 2nd of the day for Jinden.
Evan, with how good the defense has been, I half expected O'Connell to make a spectacular play
me
right
too.
there.
He made that incredible double play earlier when it was lined right at him, and then we saw the dive in right field by Roberts. But maybe we'll get something here. Maybe a double play. Is 1 on, nobody out. The check to the runner at first. He's safe. Lau will pick up the bag, get some grip back.
I'm thinking of Justin Fields' big play coming up soon.
Ooh, we got a prediction. Runner goes. Here is the throw. It is high and over Loveland's head. Caught there by... That time it was caught by Briggs. Sorry, my fault. It's over Justin
Evan,
Fields' head. Yes.
I think Wheaton has definitely had the scouting report on the Lions coming into the doubleheader. Now, that is before many stolen bags have taken place for both sides.
Oh, yeah.
But the Emerson Lions have given up 72 total stolen bases through the first month of the season. And
that's a lot.
That is a lot of stolen bases and a lot of free bags. So, Lowe, we've seen him try to check a lot. As there's a bunt
him
here.
Over third base line. Lowe's throw got him at first.
What a play!
Nice job by Loveland to cover over there. That's a 1-4 out, but a sacrifice at that. And Jinden is over to third with just 1 away.
And Wheaton's first base coach, very animated, thought his runner beat that out, but called out nonetheless. And again, that goes to what Trey was saying earlier. CeeLo making a great play there, very athletic, bounces off that mound to get at least 1 out. And no hesitation there. We saw Aiden Rice in game 1 kind of hesitate before fielding a bunt and going home, not getting an out. Making sure of an out there is huge for Chris.
Here's the pitch to Maher. First pitch swinging. Hit pretty well to left. Looking back. Is this one up and out? It is. That ball's gone. Home run for Mike Maher. And just like that, the first 2 runs of the day are scored via the big fly. Home run number 1 of the season for Mike Maher. He was a .389 hitter before this game, before today. He picks up another RBI. That's 2 on the 2-run home run for Maher. First home run of the day in the doubleheader. And that is not what you want to see if you're Emerson.
Yeah, but you got to remember, you scored 5 runs last game. It's still a 2-0 game. Don't let this deflate you after all the good momentum you've built on the defensive side. Can't let it deflate you completely. And they're starting to see Lowe.
Hit back up the middle for a base hit by Matos, so they get another runner on. 2 pitches, 2 hits.
Yeah, hitting's contagious in this sport, Evan, and I think they're starting to see Lowe. I wouldn't be shocked to see pitching coach Rob Carrillo maybe go talk to him if another guy gets on base. And you know what? A great job by the freshman, Ethan Chantham-Pollitt, taking it upon himself to do that instead of waiting for the pitching coach. That is a leadership move from a freshman right there.
Took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say veteran move from a freshman catcher going out to talk to Lowe after that base hit.
So Chantham-Pollitt back in his catching position now. Lowe's been spoken to, on the same page now. Runner on first takes about a 3-foot lead. 1 out. 2-0 Wheaton after the 2-run homer by Mike Maher. His first of the season. His 14th RBI. That's Lowe.
Still hitless on the day. A tough 0 for 6 so far. 2 strikeouts today. He's hit a couple of balls hard, as we've noted. He's a hitter that you really can't expect to keep in check for too long. He's due.
He certainly is. 298 hitter before the game today. Wagner takes another ball. He's ahead in the count, 2-0.
No action in the Emerson bullpen.
One thing of note is Chris Lowe is not getting ahead of hitters the same way he was in those first 5 innings. So maybe we start to see him fading a little bit. Hopefully he can get right back into the count here. A 2-0 count. Lowe's pitch. Swung on and fouled down into the bullpen. Who's going to get it? And it's going to be nobody. Someone out of the bullpen for Wheaton will pick this up and fling it back. All wearing those stylish cursive font, white on blue coat. Very nice classic look.
You know, and that's Wheaton for you. Very, you know, classic old school kind of team. A lot of small ball, a lot of old school thought, and even their head coach today.
Runner goes, shot into left, and foul.
Even head coach Eric Podbelski, you know, mentioned it before the game, you know. Old school look, old school kind of ball he was talking about.
Yep.
And you see that, not just in the uniforms, but at their field.
Now a 2-2 count. With 1 away and a runner on first. Would be a perfect time for a double play. Maybe a slider away to get him to roll over.
Looks as though actually Angelo Deere starting to slowly start moving in the pen.
That's an all names list guy right there.
Absolutely.
Lucas, you were saying a minute ago the classic look of Wheaton. And back in my playing days, I always considered them the Yankees of the NEWMAC. They are a classic team. Everybody has the stirrups. They all are very regimented, uniform. I think that's been a real testament to their success over the years.
Couldn't agree more, Trey. The good old saying, look good, play good, feel good.
The Yankees of the NEWMAC. I don't like it.
Yeah, I would argue that Wheaton's had
swing and a miss. Got him.
And another strikeout, the 3rd of the day. I believe that's the golden sombrero.
For the day, yes. Yeah, that's right. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts for him. Last one was backwards. Took it looking 4th. Swings through it here.
And Wagner,
Casey
frustration mounting. He just threw his bat down a little aggressively, and he's hanging his head in the dugout.
Runner goes. Ball is low in the dirt, and no time to get Matos. That was a perfect pitch to steal on. The off-speed pitch ran in the dirt. Chantham Pollitt had to find it. And a stolen base for Kevin Matos.
Now, going back to Trey's point about being the Yankees of the NEWMAC, I'd argue Wheaton's had more success than the Yankees in the last decade.
Hey, that's, more championships for
Although
sure.
they're off to a hot start this year, I won't lie. So are your socks, though, Trey?
Well, yeah, I think Goodyear are going to overperform expectations.
Second pitch is down low for ball 2.
So, Trey, growing up, I'm curious, who was your favorite player growing up as a catcher? Who are we thinking?
Oh, man, the Red Sox.
Maybe not a catcher. It doesn't have to be a catcher.
Sure. Well, my childhood hero, a little before my time. Maybe some of the parents or maybe grandparents might know, but Tony Conigliaro.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Kid from the North Shore here in Mass.
Strike 1.
Italian-American. At 19, made his debut with the Boston Red Sox. I mean, a career cut too soon due to injury, but man, oh man, did I love his story. And I only wish I got a chance to meet him. I did get to meet his brother, Billy Conigliaro, who was the Red Sox first ever draft pick back in the 60s. So
and that was the
history.
Yeah, and that's his injury really sparked that whole dream 67 season.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, that was a huge year for the Red Sox, even if they didn't cap it off with a World Series victory.
Now, for those of you at home who aren't Red Sox fans, you might not care, but I've met a few members of that impossible dream team, including Tony Santiago, who was Jose Santiago. He was a relief pitcher for the Red Sox.
If you guys couldn't tell at home, Trey is a walking encyclopedia, one of the most knowledgeable people I've ever met.
Baseball and politics, that's about all I got. I'm good for 2 Jeopardy categories tonight.
That might just be enough.
Could be, if I wager it well at the end.
Now the 2-2 with 2 outs. Lowe's got trouble at second. That's Matos. It's working against Wensley in a 2-2.
You know, Trey, with this broadcast, I'm auditioning for your future press secretary gig when you're president.
I think you're making a good impression on me. So
They run the count full to Wensley.
You hear that, folks? I have a shot. POTUS 2040 in the house.
no campaigning on the broadcast.
That ball is just high, ball 4. And so that will be the 4th batter to reach this inning against Lowe. Runner on first and second, and now it's going to be Sean Calley. He singled. He did not score, but it made it to third back in the 5th. He grounded out back in the 2nd. Looking for his first RBI of the day.
Lowe laboring through this inning, up to 85 pitches on the day. We'll see if he can get through this and maybe one more. We'll see if Nick Vanacki pushes him. You'd like to see some depth out of him today, and you already have gotten a good amount of depth here into the 6th inning, but we'll see with the pitch count climbing here.
Lowe ahead, 0-1.
It
Calley
is
batting
as
with
if,
2 on.
I just want to say, it's as if I'm either able to predict the future or Nick Vanacki heard me, because Angelo Deere is starting to now throw in the bullpen.
How about that? 1-1 count as this ball misses, and the swing was checked in time. Umpires hold it up. Sean Calley working with 2 on.
Come on, Calley.
They have a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 6th with 2 outs. 2-1 count. Low checks the runner at second. Now pitches out of the stride. That is in for strike 2. 1-2 count now. Low back in front of the hitter. Gets some dirt on his hands to rub on the baseball. Infield playing straight up. Outfield doing the same. 1-2. That is just outside. Lucas Sims, our color commentator, hands on his head, couldn't believe it. It was close. From our angle, it looked similar to the last pitch, but we can't quite get the horizontal the same as they do.
Again, you really can't see it from this angle, but that, again, looked to be a pitcher's pitch on the corner. Didn't go Lowe's way. He's got to make a pitch here now.
2-2. Lowe gets hit pretty hard into the gap and down. Fielded by the left fielder, thrown to second. There's the cutoff. 1 run will score. Matos is in, and that is going to be an RBI single for Sean Calley. 2 for 3 now.
You know, I think we're starting to see Lowe get a little tired, and the telltale sign of that is that was a hanging slider right there. The off-speed not as sharp as it was earlier in the game. It's starting to get hit hard. We'll see how much longer they go with Lowe here.
And it is now a 3-run inning.
And Rob Carrillo is going to talk to his ace, maybe to give Deere some more time in the pen. Maybe give Lowe one more batter. I doubt it, but we'll see here.
Chris Lowe has thrown 90 pitches. He's struck out 5, only allowed 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned, and walked 2. He's had a tremendous start. And it's just really been this inning where he's been blown up. Only allowed 3 hits before this inning. We had a pitcher's duel. See if it'll continue or if Lowe will come right out of this game. Walking back to the back of the mound. Looks like he's going to stay in, try and get this last out. Jantham Pollitt jogs slowly over to his catching position. Waiting outside that right-handed batter's box. And coming to bat will be Tyler Bellin.
Well, Evan, he is 1 out away, Chris Lowe that is, from recording a quality start here. 6 innings of 3-run ball or fewer. So I think maybe that plays into the decision-making here from Rob Carrillo and Nick Vanacki. Hoping he can get an ender here and turn in a quality start.
Here's the first pitch. That is in there, strike 1. Just on the outside part of the plate, up and high. Warming up to bat next would be Tommy Beauregard. Bellin is the 7th batter. Sorry, he's the 8th batter to bat in this inning. He swings and sends this ball into deep left field. Going back at the track. And that ball is going to be called for a book rule double. Looks like it got either caught on the fence or bounced right over, but that will score more.
And again, I hate to bring this up, but Santos Rosso playing in the gap gives him no chance to get to that ball. And there goes any chance for a quality start today. Still a very impressive start for Lowe. Love to see him get out of this inning. It's still only a 4-run game. Emerson's still right in this. They got to remember that.
That's right. So the book rule double will score 1 run. Runners will be at second and third with 2 outs. Lowe's first pitch is away. And for those of you wondering, a book rule double is when the rule is the same at every ballpark, regardless of what's happening with the grounds. And a ground rule double is when there is a specific feature, take it the ivy at Wrigley Field. When a ball gets stuck in the ivy, that is a ground rule double because the ground rules are different.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
That leadoff triple that was taken back as a double would be a
I think that would be a ground rule. Well, yeah, because the fence is lower over there.
Absolutely.
And it's not the same height everywhere. But that one was definitely book rule.
Loveland makes the catch there.
And a nice play by Briggs Loveland to end the inning. The 9th batter is the last batter. Couldn't quite bat around, but a great inning offensively for Wheaton as Lowe is able to get out and score 6 innings. But not before allowing 4 runs, 8 hits for Wheaton, 5 of which came in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th, where hopefully Emerson can respond. Toby Roberts will lead off, Justin Fields and Nick Favazzo to bat at the minimum. You're listening to Evan Sharrard Media and Playsight. I'm Evan Sharrard alongside Lucas Sims, Trey Fucillo. Thank you for listening, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Bottom half of the 6th. Emerson trying to strike and score some runs of their own after Wheaton scored 4 in the top of the 6th. Leading off is Justin Fields. Ben Oliveira still in. He's got 70 pitches.
Roberts leading off.
Oh, Roberts, sorry.
You're good. Fields is in that leadoff spot, I believe.
Fields is on deck.
So trying to turn it over to the top of the order.
I had the vision.
Yes, sir.
Get Roberts on, and then...
Hey, you got on last time. Hit by pitch.
Hit by a pitch, and then he was caught stealing. There we go. And that was with Fields up with 2 outs. And
you know,
Lucas, you were talking about that, saying, you know, do you let him hit there? You got the top of the order. It's a tough call, especially when you haven't scored any runs so far in the game. Got to get as many as you can.
It's as tough a decision a coach has to make, and who knows? Maybe Roberts went on his own. We really don't get that kind of context.
That's right. Yeah.
In the booth, but you know, 0-0 game, trying to be aggressive. It's a roll of the dice. You have your top of the order up. That's the only reason I'd be inclined to not go there. Let the top of the order do their thing. Try to produce some runs with less than 2 out, or with 2 outs. Sorry. But hey, can't go back in time. It happened. Got to move forward. It's only a 4-run game. Got to find a way now.
Next pitch, and here is the next pitch. This 3-1 is called for strike 1, so a full count to Toby Roberts.
Let's go.
I've really loved the patience that really both teams have exemplified here today, but Emerson needing to get base runners, and they do as that ball bounces in the dirt for ball 4 as Toby Roberts reaches first base runner and first batter of the inning.
And you love to see that from Roberts. You know, batting 9th in the order, just get on base. That's your job. Turn it over to the top of the order. He's done that twice today. Really good job of setting the table. And I'd be shocked to see him in motion again, down 4, but you know, there's only been one base runner caught stealing today, and it was him earlier. So you never really know. And
he is going, and the bunt is foul.
A bunt and run, perhaps.
Yeah,
there, Evan.
it looks like he was trying to bunt for a hit. as he was running down the line seemingly before the bat was out of his hands. 35. That'll count as a strike. So Roberts with a 2-step lead.
1, 2, 3, come on, get your ground in here. Go, Ben.
We got an arm working in the pen for the boys in blue, not the police. That's a bunt. That's down. Hit pretty well. That's going to be an infield single on the bunt. So a bunt for a single. Roberts to second.
What a bunt by Fields. I mean, he showed his hand on the first pitch of the at-bat. Wheaton knew what they were expecting there, but still a perfectly placed bunt. Nothing you can do about that. Emerson now starting to get the offense going, Evan.
And now that brings up Nick Favazzo. He hit a double back in game 1. He was 2 for 4. He had a sac hit back in the 4th. Hitless on the day, 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch to Favazzo. He's bunting high up in the air, and the catcher will retire Nick. And he is upset about that as he slams the bat down. Favazzo can't get the bunt train to continue, but now it'll be Briggs Loveland.
You know what?
3 home runs on the year, 390 hitter. Let's go.
I love that move. I love that move. You have Nick Favazzo, the fastest guy on the team, 2 guys on. Even if he is thrown out, you get the runners to second and third with 1 out. I don't mind the aggression there, just didn't execute, and that happens in baseball.
First pitch to Loveland. Hit a mile in the air. Briggs didn't quite get that one. It was just a little too far under it. That is a fly out to center. Jinden making the catch.
How about that for Oliveira? I mean, you have first and second, no outs, and 2 pitches later, you have 2 outs, and
yeah, that's
still runners on first and second.
You got to have luck to be good, and you got to be good to be lucky. And Jinden has nearly gone 6 scoreless. Let's see if he can make his way out of trouble. Runners on first and second, and now it is Chris Ferrara. RBI leader. Hits the ball.
How about
shallow.
that?
3 pitches, 3 outs, and a P6 to end it. Emerson strands 2. Ferrara and Loveland can't come through, and that is 6 scoreless for Ben Oliveira. We'll be right back for the top of the 7th. Wheaton leads it 4-0. Two pitches till we start the top half of the 7th. New pitcher in for Emerson is Angelo Deere. He is coming in to relieve Chris Lowe, who went 6, allowed 8 hits and all 4 runs. Definitely the best pitcher Emerson's had today, going for length. I'm joined by Trey Fucillo, as we have been all day so far for the 2nd game. And replacing Lucas as he's out. What do you got to say, Trey? Welcome.
The promotion feels good.
Yeah, you're in the chair now. You're not on the bleachers anymore.
I am. Nice and warm. I think this will be a good inning. Nice to see Angelo Deere in the game. He's a hard-throwing right-hander, and has always been a great competitor and an even better teammate. I also just wanted to share, we have Anna Shaneman here. She is our photographer for the Emerson Lions.
And a fantastic one at that, yes.
Oh, if you guys go to my Instagram, there's more pictures taken by her than anyone else on my Instagram.
Absolutely. That is fouled up and out of play for my Emerson Channel Sports profile page. The picture that I'm using on there is me camera operating, and who do you think took that? That was Anna Shane.
I was going to say, wild guess.
Wonder who did it, yeah. So it is a 0-2 count to the leadoff hitter today, who's singled twice. That's A.J. Jinden. On deck is Tommy Ambrosoni. Now that's a ball.
Oh, okay. I've been replaced.
So Lucas coming back. He's upset. He realizes he's been replaced. He can't believe it. They switch the chairs, and Lucas is no longer going to be getting paid today. Unfortunately, Lucas's check is all going to be going to Trey, which will all go to the locals of Marlboro. Giving back to the community is what we like to do. And that's what's going on right now, is a 1-2 count. From Deere is hit to third. Up and throwing and gunning out. Jinden is O'Connell, 6'3", on the bouncer. And Chris Ferrara will call for time as his glove broke on the last play, probably somewhere in the webbing. So Chris will get a new glove. That's the first equipment change we've needed since Jake Okamoto went over to... Well, actually, no, he didn't need an equipment change there. That's the first equipment change of the game, of the 2 games. And now after that first out, Jinden retired in a 4-0 game. Wheaton batting and leading. There's 1 out here in the top half of the 7th.
So Deere coming into today, pitching to a 12.86 ERA in just 7 innings of work. A whip at 2.5.
Ground ball to Briggs Loveland. He throws to first, and he got him without really having to move much. 4-3 put out, 2 outs.
He's looking efficient so far in this inning, and you hope to see that because he was a workhorse for this team last year. Primarily a starter, but also came out of the pen. It's been the opposite way around this season, primarily out of the pen, occasionally a starter. And that's mostly not anything to do with Angelo, but the schedule changes that we talked about in Game 1, how you now have double headers on the weekend instead of facing your conference half 3 times in a weekend. So not as many opportunities for guys to start anymore. You know, that's why we've seen Jake Morvillo with less starts, Angelo Deere with less starts this year. It's nothing against those guys. It's just, you know, physically you have less opportunities for these guys who are very capable of starting successfully. We've seen it. But just, you know, that's the way the NEWMAC shaped up this year in terms of scheduling.
Liam Goldwaite going in the pen for Wheaton, warming up as a swing and a miss will bring this count to 1-2. Mike Maher hit his first home run of the season earlier in this game to start the scoring. It was a 2-run homer. His 14th RBIs. This has popped up and out of play.
You know, Evan, he made me eat my words. You know, before in the pregame for Game 2, I said, probably not going to see any home runs today. Well, Maher had some other ideas last at bat, deposited one to left center field.
Yeah, that one just kept going. Clobbered it. Just couldn't tell until you saw that the left fielder kept looking up, as that one is just outside. Ball 2. Count back to even. Whether you like that terminology or not. 2-2. 4-0 ball game here in the top of the 7th. 2 outs gone, nobody on. And now it's a full count to Mike Maher. Maher 1 for 2 on the day with 2 RBIs and a walk. Those 2 RBIs on that 2-run homer.
Wait here, Mike. Come on.
Maher batting over 380 on the year, and he'll take ball 4. Oh no, he'll take strike 3.
He's walking up the baseline. You'd think that would ball 4.
Yeah, but
nope.
You know what? That means that their dugout's this way, and a nice inning of work, retiring them in order. Striking out looking is Mike Maher. Well done by Angelo Deere. Emerson coming back out to hit, down by 4. Here comes O'Connell, Santusoso, and Benway to bat next. We'll be right back with the bottom half of the 7th. Emerson looking to rally. Well, after a brief medical update within the lives of me and Lucas and Trey, we are back underway, the bottom half of the 7th, as Braden O'Connell steps in. Right-handed batter. Ben Oliveira still going. He's only allowed 2 hits.
I was going to say, why not?
Yeah, why
2
not?
hits,
You allow 2 hits. This
81 pitches.
Yeah, see if he can get the complete game in the way he's pitching. And, you know, we really wouldn't have thought this with the ERAs coming in. We would have really thought that it would have been Ryan McCarroll doing that. But right now, I mean, the best pitcher of the day has certainly been Ben Oliveira.
No, absolutely. And he's a guy who, coming into the day, we said has been beat up sometimes, but also has turned in some quality starts. And
This is a quality one of them.
he definitely has one going right here. And he's held this lineup in check. Despite the fact that they had some momentum going for them into Game 2, he has nipped that right in the bud, and he's looked impressive.
Braden O'Connell, 1 hit on the day. How about we change that? A single into center field, line shot, hit hard. He'll stop there.
I think that was the work of the broadcaster's curse there, talking about Oliveira's day, and then boom, base hit. I think we've had 2 instances now where we're doing that. So.
Hey, that'd be my guest if it's going to be for Wheaton. We got to get some runs. Maybe it'll start right here. Now we're going to have Anthony Santuoso. One on, and now we're going to get a stoppage as going to get a mound visit here. Manager coming out to talk to Ben Oliveira.
His day might be done.
And his day probably is done. We see a lot of the dugout coming out to greet their pitcher after he went 6 scoreless innings, allowing the leadoff batter to reach in the 7th. And that will be the day for Ben Oliveira. An absolute masterclass from him today. Great pitching from him. He's responsible for the runner on first. If he should reach, he would only have allowed 1 run. A fantastic pitching performance for him.
Yeah, the Mass native really had it going today, and worth noting, he's just a sophomore, so his ceiling is extremely high. Great job today to give his ball club a chance to win.
And so we've got some double-barreled action, and we've got Josh Fisher, the lefty, going in the pen, and the righty is Liam Goldwaite. And we'll see who comes in. And actually, Liam Goldwaite's sitting on the mound right now pitching. So how about I look up and see? There he is. He'll warm up and be the pitcher in. So right-hander Goldwaite to pitch. A runner on base, just singled and knocked Ben Oliveira out of the game. He had a very good game, pitching 6 innings. Couldn't get the first out. They benched him after only allowing 3 hits. It's a cold day. It's time to get the hand warmers.
So this will be
pitching jacket.
Goldwaite's just his 3rd appearance, pitching to a 5.06 ERA in 5 1/3 innings pitched. So a pretty solid arm out of the pen for them, and he looks to preserve the 4-run lead here.
Goldwaite still warming up. Runner on first base will be Braden O'Connell. His 2nd hit of the day. First hit of this game. Back in game 1, he singled when he was leading off in the 9th inning. He went 1 for 4 overall on the day. O'Connell is 2 for 7.
You know, we mentioned the all-hands-on-deck approach for Coach Vinacki and the Emerson Lions in terms of pitching today. I mean, that's been Wheaton's approach all season. I mean, looking at this pitching roster, I mean, there is only 1 guy on this pitching staff who has not pitched or made an appearance, and there are only 3 guys, including him, that have pitched less than 2 innings. So, obviously, head coach Eric Podbelski trusts his staff in any given situation, and we're seeing that here with Goldwaite getting the nod here.
Goldwaite's got the nod, and now the nod to pitch. As the batter steps in, Santuoso ready to go. Leading off first by about 3 steps, trying the bunt, and he'll pull back just in time. It's a strike anyway. Trey, what do you got?
Couldn't help but notice during the pitching change, Robert Posio had a bat and helmet on, so we may see him pinch hit down the road here.
And we saw that in game 1, Trey. It's interesting you note that he pinch hit when the lefty came in to face Fields, and subsequently it would have been Benway, but Posio pinch hit for Benway in that spot and popped out, I believe.
There's strike 2, swinging. Santuoso in the hole, 0-2. Runner on base is O'Connell. 3-step gain. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the 7th. That ball's away. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And going back to that point about trusting the whole staff, not one complete game thrown by a Wheaton or Emerson Lion pitcher this year. So 2 teams that need their bullpens and have already gone into them in game 2 here.
Goldwaite checks the runner at first base. Safe is the call, and he was. Trying to make sure that O'Connell won't be running. Checks him with his head. Turns back, out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Staying put. They call a foul tip. That's strike 3, swinging. And so down goes Santos Suoso. First out of the inning. Now Blake Benway coming into bat.
Now that my playing days are over, I will admit it now, there's no skill for a catcher. It just hits the mitt the right way and you squeeze it hard enough and it's...
Some insight from former catcher and current councilman Trey Fucillo. And just now, the final is set. The NCAA Women's Basketball Champion is undefeated, and it is South Carolina. Caitlin Clark and Iowa fall short by 12, 87-75 the final. For those of you who tuned into that, I wish I could have. That would have been a great game to watch. What fun this tournament's been. An incredible, incredible team South Carolina was. Both teams great.
Well, Evan, all you had to do was ask. I could have gotten a Stream East site up and running here. Not that I use pirating streaming sites or anything.
Well, you know, I can't confirm that he does, so for now, I'll just take his word for it, as that's a check at first base.
No, but congratulations to South Carolina. Really, really, really good team. They had a tremendous season. And same thing with Iowa. Great year, great players. Caitlin Clark going to be the face of the WNBA soon. She had a tremendous year, and congrats to South Carolina.
Camila Cardoso and South Carolina stand tall and win.
I'm hoping the New York Liberty can pick up Caitlin Clark. That would be amazing.
She's going to be fantastic wherever she goes. The best college athlete I've ever seen play. 1-2 count with 1 out. O'Connell leading off first. Wheaton leads this game 4-0 in the bottom of the 7th as the throw back to first is not in time. The 3rd check as Goldwaite doesn't want to throw the pitch to Benway. Throwing off his timing. Benway is behind.
I also want to give a special shout out. It has come to my attention that Jake Hatch, former Emerson Lion.
That ball gets away and running and taking the base with ease on the wild pitch is Braden O'Connell. So a runner in scoring position. Now, Lucas, what do you have to say about Jake?
Well, I was going to say, it's come to my attention, Mr. Hatch is listening, former Emerson Lion and captain here for Emerson. He is listening today, and we want to just shout him out. A vital part to the team's success last year. We wish him all the luck in Manhattan College. He has made the climb up to D1 ball, and we are so proud of you, Jake, and we're so grateful that you're listening in today.
Thank you for tuning in, Jake. Incredible work you've done for this program, and now playing D1 ball at Manhattan. Incredible as Benway fouls off this pitch 2-2. 1 out. Double play not in order any longer because O'Connell advanced to second base on a wild pitch. Goldwaite, here it is. Fouled off again. Benway hanging in this at-bat. 2-2 still. Blake Benway, a .255 hitter before the day started today. He's just got 1 RBI on the season. He remains hitless today, although he did reach base and stole a base in the 4th inning of game 1, and he walked today as he lines one into right field. That is going to fall for a base hit. Here comes the runner. O'Connell will score. Benway delivers his 2nd RBI of the year. Emerson trails by 3. Blake Benway with an RBI single. The senior leadership comes through as the lefty pokes one in.
And that's big, Evan, right? To get your first run across here. And again, remember, the runs came late in game 1. You're hoping that the same is true here. And here we go, a pinch runner. Ty Bourne going to run for Benway. A little speed on the bases with 1 out now. Sorry, go ahead, Evan.
No, you.
I was going to say, Bourne's first appearance of the day, so good to see him out there, a captain for this Lions team.
Captain T.Y. out there leading off of first, ready to run if necessary. Got a couple feet lead. Here's the first pitch. That is going to be called strike one.
So we have a pinch hitter. Robert Posio is, in fact, going to hit here.
And Posio coming in for Ethan Shantham-Pollitt.
So it's to be assumed Posio will take over the catching duties for Shantham-Pollitt.
Come on, Rob, all you did.
Quickly down 0-2, Evan.
0-2 count coming to Posio as he's doing his bat warm-up, trying to get his timing down here against Goldwait. Runner on first. Emerson just scored a strikeout. Bourne is running. He is out. Double play ends the inning, but Emerson scores 2 as Bourne is thrown, or Emerson scores 1. My bad. Emerson scores 1. It is 4-1. Emerson had 2 base runners. Blake Benway delivered with an RBI single, and Ty Bourne thrown out at second base to end the inning after Posio strikes out swinging. So we will come back for the top of the 8th. Emerson trails 4-1. Wheaton coming up, Matos, Wagner, and Wensley to bat next. We'll be right back. Angelo Deere still out there pitching. He had 13 pitches in his last inning of work. Got through 1 scoreless, no hits, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. As he will start for Emerson on the mound here in the 8th. We saw Ty Bourne cut down to pull a double play out of the bag for Wheaton to end the bottom half of the 7th. Emerson scored their first run of this game. They trail by 3. And now Matos coming in to bat.
So I think Bourne will stay in as the DH as he pinch ran for the DH, Blake Benway. And we have a new catcher,
Jake Okamoto. Yes, Jake Okamoto is checked in to catch after Posio struck out pinch hitting for Shantham-Pollitt.
I have to wonder. Obviously, Oak caught the first game in its entirety. If Posio's maybe not cleared to do catching duties yet, just maybe hitting, I'm not quite sure. Maybe he's cleared to do all, maybe easing him back in after the injury.
Quickly behind 0-2. Here's Deere's pitch. Matos fouls this back behind the catcher. Picked up in the on-deck circle by Tim Wagner. Given back to the umpire, Okamoto takes his masks off, and he's going to get his hair all set out of his face. All set, and here we go.
Wagner in the on-deck circle. Excited to see someone other than Chris Lowe, who struck him out 3 times today on the mound.
As the golden sombrero.
He could make up for that with a big hit.
Absolutely. Nobody on, nobody out. 1-2 count to Matos. Popped up, foul to the left side behind the bleachers, out of play, hitting a tree, and another foul ball means we're still on the 2nd strike. Matos is 2 for 3 today, striking out back in the 4th inning. He scored in the 6th inning after he singled and stole a base. 1-2 is inside and low for ball 2. Count back to even.
No, but I want him.
Here's the pitch to Matos. That ball is low, and so he's run it full after going down 0-2. He's worked it all the way back to 3-2. Kevin Matos trying to get on for the third time in this game.
My whole point.
Here's the pitch. Popped up, high in the air and out of play. Ball now back into Deere's hands. 6 pitch at bat so far.
Good battle here. See who prevails.
Here's the pitch to Matos. He takes it, and he takes ball 4 at that. Must have been outside as Matos works his first walk of the game. Third time being on base. So Matos leads off the 8th with a walk. And now batting behind him will be Tim Wagner trying to pick him up. Wagner has struck out 3 times today in his 3 at-bats.
Timmy.
And Wagner is hitless on the day, although he did reach base back in the 4th inning of Game 1 and got to second. He hasn't scored a run.
Timmy, here we go.
1-0 count to Wagner. Checking first. The throw is in Ferrara's glove, but nothing doing.
I have to say, this is off topic. I am thoroughly
You're displeased with how Trey is
how
dressed.
Trey is dressed. As a Mass native, Trey, you should know that in early April, to not be wearing layers is a cardinal sin.
That's popped up. Well, you know, I'll counterpoint as someone from Chicago, Illinois. A lot of people will love to wear shorts, no matter how cold it is, and they'll say that, you know, I'm used to the cold, it doesn't matter how cold it gets, and that's their counter-argument to your point. Although I have to agree with you. I mean, I did not dress well enough here at all. I'm freezing. Trey, what do you got?
I saw a balmy 48 today, and I thought that was enough to wear shorts. Clearly, I was mistaken.
So Trey says
Evan,
that, Lucas, you're right.
You're from the Windy City, but
Yeah.
would you say, as someone who's lived in both Chicago and Boston, what's the windier city?
Boston.
Okay.
Boston is far windier. Boylston and Tremont is the 3rd windiest intersection in the country, and that's where many Emerson students are always at, so we are no stranger to the wind.
Here we go.
1 out in the inning. Wagner was retired on a pop-out. Runner goes. The throw is going to be in time. Did he get him? No. Justin Fields rolling over onto his back, almost onto his head. He couldn't get the tag down in time.
You know, that's the second time Fields was tardy to get to the bag. I wonder if he's not shaded up the middle enough, or I don't know what's going on there, but that's the second time we've seen a good throw get to second base, but no one really there covering.
Yeah, it looked like the tag might have been just a little late, if that. I thought he had him, but second base umpire far closer than I am on that.
Yeah, Butch Crooker making the call there.
Another all-time name. Casey Wensley batting here in a 1-0 count. He flies this ball into center field, and it bounces right over the head of Favazzo, all the way to the wall. Here comes the run to score. Running to third is Wensley. He will be safe, and he'll stop right there. 1 run scores on the triple.
That is such a tough ball to read for any outfielder. Favazzo, not sure if he wanted to go and try to lay out for that ball. Instead tries to play the hop, but it takes a massive hop over his head and rolls all the way to the wall for a triple. That is a tough break for the Lions, who after scoring 1 in the bottom half of last inning, now give 1 right back up.
The 9th hit of the day for Wheaton is an RBI triple for Casey Wensley. And now that'll bring up Sean Calley. Sean Calley has 2 singles today. Didn't play in the first game, had an RBI single back in the 6th. He's got another golden opportunity to score another run here. Wensley leads off of third. 1 out, 5-1, Wheaton with the RBI triple. Ahead in the count 1-0. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Evan, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't think the Wheaton Lions have made any substitutions offensively in game 1 or 2 here, and we're in the 8th inning of game 2.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Their lineup doesn't differ much either. And you were talking about this before the game. We had to mention it. Tyler Bellin has caught an entire 9-inning game, and so far this is now his 8th inning of catching.
In game 2.
Game 2. So he's caught after this inning 17 innings of baseball. That is hard to do. You better have
Okamoto in for his second.
Yes.
Second stint
That's
of work
lined
today.
into left. That'll be over the head and over the wall. Book rule double. And so another run will come to pass.
So that a book rule.
That is a
double,
book rule
Evan.
double. That's right.
I learned something new today, and I want to thank you for that.
That's right. Wensley scores as Sean Calley is 3 for 4. A double and 2 singles. That is his second RBI of the game.
And that's tough, right? I mean, you have the runner on third on the triple. It was scored as a triple, no error on the play, so that run is earned to Angelo. But again, that ball was technically misplayed out in center field by Favazzo, so it's a tough break, but Jello doesn't care whether that run's earned or not. It's just another run on the scoreboard, and he's got to be a little frustrated about that.
Well, 5-run game is what we were looking at going into the 9th inning of last
Sound
game.
familiar?
Sounds very familiar. And if I know anything about the Emerson lineup, they're not going to give up. There's strike.
And they didn't. Down to their final out, they scored 2.
Absolutely.
You know what? It's a pivotal point in trying to come from behind here is getting at least 2 to 3, maybe even 1 in the bottom of the 8th. Make your job easier in the 9th inning to try and mount a comeback.
1-1. Strike 2.
Come on, let's go. Come on, time.
Angelo Deere back on the mound. He's ahead in this count 1-2. Runner on second after driving in the runner from third with the book rule double. That's Calley. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Okamoto makes the throw. Retires the second batter of the inning as Bellin strikes out swinging.
Now, I'm just saying, wouldn't it be something? Everybody keeps talking about this losing skid the Lions are on. A come from behind, late inning win against arguably the best team in the conference. Now, that would be something for my Sunday afternoon.
That would be incredible. It's a team that Emerson has surprisingly never in their history beaten. 0-27 all time.
Including game 1 today.
Including game 1 today. And not to say that they haven't played them close before. They played them close today. Lost by 3 in the first game. Down by 5 now. And that was only really in the past 3 innings when they broke open and dropped 4 on Emerson in the 6th after getting to Chris Lowe, who had a great day. Ahead in the count 1-0 is Tommy Beauregard. Checking second. Really quick tag by Loveland, but safe at second is Sean Calley.
Like you were saying, Evan, it was only 2 years ago that we were walked off against. We were right there leading at one point against Wheaton down at their place. And I think it's a testament to the turnaround that this team's had over the last few years. We have played them close, like you said.
Absolutely. That's going to be in there for a strike. Count back to 1-1 now. Tommy Beauregard 0 for 3 today. He had a hit back in the 3rd inning of game 1 and walked, stole a base in the 2nd inning of game 1. This game, he was robbed in right field after that diving catch by Toby Roberts. The highlight of the game for Emerson. Heading the count 2-1 as that slider misses away. Angelo Deere makes sure he's got the count right. He does. He's checking, making sure it's 2-1, and it is. Steps back up on the mound. He's ready to go on the rubber. About a 5-foot lead Calley has off of second base. Here's the pitch from Deere. That is ruled a ball outside, and so it's a 3-1 hitters count now for Tommy Beauregard. Beauregard looking to get on base for the first time in game 2. with 2 outs. 6-1, 2 outs, top of the 8th. Wheaton leads it. Deere trying to get out of it. That is going to be ruled ball 4. That one was too low as Tommy Beauregard reaches for his first time in game 2. Runners on first and second with 2 outs, and now the top of the order starts up again as A.J. Jinden steps in. He singled back in the 6th and stole a base. He did the same thing back in the 3rd. And now the 2-for-4 hitter will step up here in the 8th for his 5th at-bat. Jinden takes ball 1. Should Jinden reach, Tommy Ambrosone will bat next. Ahead in the count, 1-0 with 2 runners on. Deere, here's the pitch. That ball just misses, and that's ball 2 now. Jinden working the count again. Jinden had 2 hits in the first game in back-to-back innings. That was in the 1st and 2nd inning, and now he's got a chance to get 2 hits in the 6th and 8th if he knocks one in here. Runners on first and second. The pitch is low and away. Quickly 3-0 to A.J. Jinden with Tommy Ambrosini looming on deck.
Come on, kiddo. Come on, kid.
And that's strike 1. Definitely had the take sign there because 3-0. Got to make him work, and he does. 3-1, hitters count. Ambrosoni on deck. Runners on first and second in a 6-1 game. That is strike 2, full count. 2 outs, 2 on. 6-1 game, full count to A.J. Jinden. Deere looks in. Here's the pitch. That ball is low and away, ball 4. Ambrosoni will bat, and the bases are now loaded.
And Evan, I think it's worth mentioning here, no one's stirring in the Emerson bullpen. This is Angelo Deere's inning to finish. I'd like to see a Rob Carrillo or Jake Okamoto maybe go talk to him here. Clearly the command is starting to lapse a little bit, but no one going out to slow him down. So Deere's got to dig deep here, to say the least.
Emerson's been doing a lot of digging deep today. He dug deep to get 2 runs and make it a 3-run game. Unfortunately, unable to come through in the 9th inning of Game 1, losing 8-5. And now...
So now I'm going to confirm I can predict the future, because now there's, again, after I make a note, Connor Travis not warming up in the bullpen. So I'm just going to say, I promise, folks, I am not in communication with the coaches. But here we go. Connor Travis, the freshman arm, getting loose now in case Angelo Deere can't get his ender here.
1-1 count, 2 outs in the 9th, bases loaded. 6-1. Tommy Ambrosoni batting here. That one's low. Ball 2.
Lucas, I'm unconvinced that with modern technology and pitch comm and all these things that you're not talking to coach, because you have been too spot on today.
Well, I'm just a pitcher who knows baseball a decent amount, I would say, playing it since I was 5 years old.
Here's the 2-1. That is just going to catch the outside part of the corner. Pitcher's pitch right there, Lucas.
Absolutely. And that is what we need to see Deere get back to here in the 2-2 count. With the bases loaded, nowhere to put the runner.
Deere bobbling the ball behind his back, looking for his strikeout pitch. It's time to get out of the inning. That's got to be what he's thinking. Top 8. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 looking. Ambrosoni strands them loaded. And we'll see how big that looms. Able to score 2 more in the top of the 8th. Wheaton up 6-1. We go bottom 8. Emerson coming to bat as Ambrosoni strikes out looking.
Get your rally caps on, folks. We'll see what the Lions can do when we come back.
All right, well, after some celebrity talk that you all didn't get to hear between Trey and Lucas, we're back. Actually, I think Trey wants to fill you guys in.
Well, speaking of celebrities, J.R. DiSarcina is now down as first base coach. He is the son of Gary DiSarcina, former all-star MLB shortstop.
Well, there you go.
Coached third base for the Mets for a few years. I actually was guilty of breaking a piece of that memorabilia for Mr. DiSarcina. Earlier in the season, I was tasked with hitting fungos before a game, and a Mets-branded fungo from Mr. DiSarcina's time with the organization, I ended up breaking while doing so. And Mr. DiSarcina, if you're listening, I apologize.
Goodness, what are we going to do with you, Lucas? The 1-1.
I did promise to fix it. It is still in pieces in the bat bag. I will be fixing it. So if anyone knows a carpenter, please do let me know.
Yeah, you give your number out, whatever you need, man. 2-1 count to Toby Roberts leading off as he swings and misses. Foul tip, steps out of the batter's box. He's ready to reconsider, maybe redo the gloves, get back and swing it.
On-base machine today.
Yes, yeah, he's got hit by a pitch and then got caught stealing, and he walked, got to second base before the inning ended. Here he is in the 8th. And a 2-2 count leading off, 6-1. Wheaton, foul tip off the umpire. Seems to be okay. Gives the thumbs up. Yep, totally fine.
Matt Gatien. Tough guy back behind the plate.
Here we go. Come on, Liam. Come on, Lee.
Liam Goldwait trying to get his second inning of work in here.
Come on, kid.
Pitched the 7th scoreless. Or sorry, gave up 1.
Boy.
He strikes out Toby Roberts.
Good job. Go, baby. Keep going. Let's go.
Now we're going to see Justin Fields, who singled on a bunt in the 6th and singled the normal way in the 4th.
Come on, Lee. Come on, Lee.
1 up, 1 down. First pitch to Fields is in there, low and in, strike 1.
Folks, if you thought I was kidding about rally caps, I've convinced Mr. Fucillo to don the rally cap. I also am wearing my beanie inside out now to try and help this Emerson Lions team score.
Anything it takes. That one low.
You asked me earlier in the game about my favorite player growing up, and I will give a more modern answer. Nomar Garciaparra, one of the most superstitious men to ever play the game, so I am proud to don the rally cap right now.
And there you have it. This pitch is going to be ruled a ball after a couple ones lower were ruled strikes, so it's 2-1 now. That fastball missed.
Liam.
Liam Goldwait looks in. Nobody on, 1 out. Bottom of the 8th. 6-1 lead for Wheaton. Swing and a miss. Now 2-2 count. Fields the helmet off. Steps out of the backs now. Kicks the bat, and he's back in.
Come on, Lee. Come on, Lee.
On the plate, a wind-up swing. He's got his pitch. Goldwait ready to throw it.
Come on, kid.
The delivery. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on the slider in the dirt. 2 Ks in the 8th in a row for for Liam Goldwait as Fields strikes out. Now it'll be Favazzo. Nick Favazzo was a member of the Emerson mental health panel last year in April. In conjunction with the Worcester Red Sox, he told a great story about how when he worked at an ice cream shop, he had filled a couple buckets full of soft serve ice cream because he was so afraid to ask for help. And eventually he finally asked for help, and the moral of that story was you always should reach out and always ask for help, because the earlier you do it, the better. Favazzo, a big proponent of mental health.
You know,
Important
he's
to talk
a huge
about.
leader in that regard, and there's a couple other guys on the team. You see Benny Guevara donning the mental health pin on his hat every game, and he's been very outspoken. Myself, I've been open about my mental health struggles with OCD, and you know, it's the less we stigmatize it and you know, become more open about it, the better it'll be. So
Very important.
And I believe you were a part of that panel,
yeah,
Evan,
I
so I want to
moderated that
shout
one,
you out. So being modest, not mentioning that, but don't worry, I got you, Evan. That was awesome. I remember seeing that, and kudos to you and Nick and everyone who was involved.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Ezra Charles was there as well. Trevor Arico from the basketball team. Sam Zanotti on there as well.
Emerson
from the softball team.
and cross country.
Cross country.
Yes.
Got to shout that out. they did an excellent job. It was so important what they did, and the work that Nick has done is just really impressive, and it doesn't stop there with help of Charles Steinberg as he grounds one up the middle, and that is going to get through for a base hit. So Favazzo's on again after getting deep into a full count. The first base runner of the 8th inning for the Lions.
And by the way, he's pretty darn good at baseball too, Nick Favazzo.
Oh yeah, 5 tools. Now it'll be Briggs Loveland. He has a chance to bring this back to a 3-run game with 1 swing of the bat. He's hit 3 home runs
Did that in the
this
9th
year.
last game.
Yes,
Brought
he
it
did.
back to a 3-run game with a 2-out, 2-strike, down to their final strike, Evan, and he had a 2 RBI single.
Loveland leads the team in homers. Briggs hitting over 390 to start the day. He singled back in the 9th inning in a clutch spot with 2 outs, driving in 2 runs to preserve a day with a hit. He has a chance to do it again here. He's hitless, but he walked. Ball gets away. Favazzo takes second. As that wild pitch got away to the left side of the catcher.
Remember what I said, how important it is to get 1 or 2 here in the 8th. Now here's your chance to do it. When you're big RBI guys, a lot of speed on second. Briggs does not need to get too big here. Just a single will score Nick.
Clutch is something that Loveland does well. Goldwaite looks in. 1-0 count to Briggs. Favazzo off of second. Pops it up, foul.
Good.
I think it's 1-2. I think that's right.
Come on out.
Right here, baby.
Yeah.
There's a strike, so it'll be... Lucas believes it'll be a 1-2. Stats just a little bit behind. 1-2 to Briggs.
Come on, Liam.
Is it 1-2?
6-1 game.
The 1-1. I could be wrong. I do think it's a 1-2 count.
We'll see. Here's the pitch. Lined it into left center. Calling everyone off in center field is Jinden. He makes the catch to retire the side and end the 8th.
Sorry.
A line
I do it
out
that way with the mic.
for Briggs Loveland after Favazzo got on and advanced with a wild pitch. Emerson unable to strike for any there. 6-1 Wheaton. We go top 9. 3 outs remain for Emerson to get this back to tied. Wheaton doubles them and hits 10-5. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Top of the 9th, about to get underway. Michael Maher is going to be leading off. He hit his first home run of the season today. A 2-run bomb to get the scoring started in this game after a pitcher's duel through 6 innings. He busted it open for a 4-run inning with Wheaton. Hit that 2-run homer. Now Wheaton leads 6-1. Maher is 1 for 2 on the day with a homer, a strikeout, and a walk back in the first inning. Quickly behind 0-1. Angelo Deere still on the mound. He's pitched 2 so far, given up 2. Struck out 3, walked 3. Ground ball up the middle for a base hit, uncontested. It bounced off the mound. Deere couldn't make the play. Ground ball single, as that is the second hit of the ball game for Maher.
Evan, I'm actually kind of surprised to see Deere back out there. Had to labor through that 8th inning. They have Travis hot and ready in the bullpen. I wonder how long the leash will be for Deere here.
I can't help but notice, Lucas, Connor Travis out there warming up. The entire Wheaton bullpen is standing behind the bullpen catcher, watching his bullpen. Maybe a little intimidation before he heads out to the mound if he does today.
That is a great point, Trey.
And that goes back to what I was talking about with you, Evan, about how there is just one bullpen here, and you got to share it. And, you know, maybe Wheaton, through a game of telephone, could get a scouting report back to their hitters.
Maybe they can. Deere working with a runner on first. Hit by Matos up the middle. That's a base hit. Going station to station. A single that drives up Mar to second, and Matos is on with yet another hit.
And you think this guy's hungry for a hit coming to the plate, Mr. Wagner? A tough 0 for 4 today with 3 strikeouts, went hitless in the first game. If there's a spot, or if there's a hitter, I should say, who
wants it more, yeah,
wanting to get a hit here. You think Wagner cares about being up 5 runs right here? Absolutely not.
No, not at all. Yeah, he wants the number here. He wants the hit. He has gotten on base once today, and that spans both games. He struck out once in the first inning of game 1.
Chris Farrar expecting bunt, and he did show bunt. So again, you know what?
Anyway, and by any means necessary. That's what they're doing.
Coach Eric Podbelski saying, I don't care if you're our hottest hitter, you're going over on the day. If I need you to bunt, you're going to bunt. And looks as though we're going to get one here.
Tim to Wagner in a 1-0 count after the bunt attempt, and he'll pull it back in time again. And that is the advantage of the bunt. You can get ahead in the count pretty quickly if they miss, because you can tell, all right, I can pull this back just in time to get it away.
And up 2-0 on the count, I'd really be intrigued to see if they give him the green light to go ahead and swing here. Probably going to get a fastball, especially if Deere's expecting a bunt here. We'll have to see, Evan.
And it's been interesting to see him struggle today, because Wagner is their leader in home runs. He's hit 4. As he goes with the bunt there and gets strike 1.
Very similar spot to the previous pitch that was called a ball. Wagner shakes his head.
Wagner is among the leaders on this team in RBIs, with Matos tied with 16, and you just haven't noticed it today, the way that he's been batting, hitting 298. If anything, Matos has looked like the 298 hitter. That's a bunt down the third baseline. It just goes foul. That'll be the second strike as O'Connell scoops it up.
Yeah, if that was in play, there's no way an out would be recorded there. That was a perfectly placed bunt, but just rolls a little bit foul, so 2-2 count for Wagner.
2-2 count, nobody out. 6-1 game, Wheaton leading and batting here in the top of the 9th.
Let's go, Wags.
Angelo Deere trying to work his way out of trouble. Got a runner on first and second, both singled, and went station to station to get there.
I just want to apologize if you folks at home are hearing me cough a little bit. Got a little bit of a cold. The Dayquil's starting to wear off.
Good, great take.
Trey is cowering in fear as he'll bravely, I'll add, come right behind Lucas to say this.
I was uninformed of this cold when I came into the broadcast booth today, so I hope I do not get sick anytime soon.
Well, considering our broadcast, and put this in quotes, booth, is really just the benches
And the
of the
table.
Wheaton stands, I think you'll be okay, Trey.
Fouled off to the left side.
You know, I will get back on track though and say this. You guys were talking about the fundamentals of Wheaton, their ability to bunt. You know, they let any hitter in the lineup square to bunt, hit and run. I remember being a freshman, first time going down to Wheaton, and just being so impressed with their ability to play the small ball and also hit those big flies. And that's, I think, a part of why they're just such a good fundamentally sound team.
Well said, Trey. That's popped up in the air. That's coming towards us. Let's see where this one lands. Maybe it's in play. Okamoto says it is. He's going to call this off, and it lands just to his left. And so it's a foul ball.
That is a lifeline for Wagner, who stays alive. And you know what, that, Evan, I would argue, and Trey, maybe you can attest to this, that pop-up might be the hardest pop-up in the game of baseball to catch for a catcher, especially.
My favorite drill is when you take a pitching machine, crank it up, put it right in the sky, and just feed each other baseballs all afternoon. And I'll tell you, you drop more than you catch, because it is a tough play, especially at this stadium. I mean, there is a very restricted area behind home plate, so every pop-up looks like it's going to go out of play, so those ones that trickle back in are tough to play.
That pitch hit on the ground, onto third. He scoops it up, plays it at second. He got him there. And so that's the first out of the inning on a fielder's choice. That'll be 5-4.
And look, obviously, Wagner a little frustrated with himself. We see that visibly, and that doesn't do the exact job of a bunt there, but it does get a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs, and we'll see if Wheaton can capitalize and add to their lead here.
The runner out at second. Runners on the corners here with 1 away. Wagner reaches for his first time in Game 2 via the fielder's choice. It's now the lefty Casey Wensley. Wensley hit that RBI triple in his last at-bat that went over Favazzo's head as he squares to bunt, pulls back at the end, and it's basically a pitch out. That one outside for ball 1. Working with 2 on and 1 out. You got the double play in order. What pitches are you looking to throw here, Lucas?
Well, definitely something low in the zone. You know, Jello has a really good 2-seam / sinker, you could call it, and love to see that pitch utilized there. He uses a slider, though, too, an off-speed pitch. But to a lefty, be more inclined to see that 2-seamer off the plate, maybe even bury that slider on the back foot, try to get a weak ground ball to the right side. Jello, though, I will say, a pitcher not afraid to throw that 2-seamer. You know, typically for a right-handed pitcher, that runs towards the right side of the plate, but he could really pick off that outside part of the plate as well. As there's a bunt popped up.
Just gets by Angelo, and he can't make any play. Everyone's safe. The bunt single will score a run. Loveland trying to come on and make the play. He had no play to make as Deere was unable to dive and grab that ball. The bunt was popped up in the air, bounced right in front of him, and just behind him as well. So an RBI bunt single that time for Casey Wensley.
And you know, we joke about Wagner not really being able to buy a hit right now, but you know, Jello's not really seemingly able to buy an out right now. It's just a tough break. Nothing you can do on that. A great effort by Deere to try and get there. Very similar to Lowe in his fantastic ability to field as a pitcher. Just couldn't get to that one, Evan.
Now here comes the first pitch to Sean Calley. Calley has singled 3 times today. His last 2 hits are RBI singles. He has not scored today, but he has brought guys in to score.
Well, the first 5 innings flew, Evan. We had zeros across the board. Now these last few innings have been really long, but our attendance of about 50 people hasn't really waned. So
absolutely, game time, first pitch time was 3:32 Eastern. Now 5:57. So just over nearing that 2.5 hours mark.
A long day of baseball, Evan.
Long day indeed. Cold one. 1-1. Runners on first and second with 1 out. A swing and a miss.
All right, here we go. Tough
on the fastball high.
Here we go. Come on, Callie. Starting up. Come on.
Come on, kid.
Fight for us. 2 strikes. On 12.
Angelo Deere trying to work
Callie, come on, Callie.
3 innings of pitching today. And this is really, I mean, one of the things we haven't talked about is how huge it is that he's been able to pick up this many innings after the first game having 4 pitchers pitch. Only having Lowe and Deere pitch this game would be huge.
Absolutely. It saves your arms for Tuesday, which again is a conference game for both of these teams. So it gives them a chance to go out there and have another set of top-tier arms for Tuesday to try and get a conference win.
7-1 Wheaton leading. They've got runners on first and second. Did he go? The pitch, he says he did not. He checked his swing on the outside fastball, so the count now moves to 2-2. 1 out, 2 on, top of the 9th. 1 out, 7-1 Wheaton lead. Sean Calley trying to drive in some more. He's already got 2 RBIs this day.
If I had to have a hunch about who might go for the line. Oh,
that's hit pretty well. Into left center field, but under it with plenty of time to make the catch. Nice play by Santuoso out there, and he gets it in time.
You know, and that's
no runners advance.
I've been a little hard on Santuoso playing the gap, but that's a ball right there that if he's not playing the gap is a for sure double, if not more. So it gives and it takes, you know, for sure, and you just gotta decide where you're going to play, and for Santuoso all day, it's been that left center field gap.
You know, I wonder if the reason he plays that gap here is because the outfield is so big. You look where Favazzo's lined up pretty much in dead center, but if you really compare the amount of ground to right and left, he's actually got more ground in right center. That is going to be on the ground and played Off the hop, 6-4 put out for Justin Fields to Briggs Loveland to retire the side. We go bottom 9, last chance for the Emerson Lions. They trail 7-1. We'll be right back after this.
Score? What
Score right now, 7-1.
7-1. Thank you. Where did I put my phone? Where did I just put my phone?
It's on your computer.
Oh, yep. WPI will be tough on Tuesday.
That's the shot.
They just beat MIT in their first game. Yeah.
He completes his inning. They hold on to the he gets the save.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, because he's gone 3 innings. Yeah, it's the old school. Yep.
Go, Liam. Come on, Lee.
Call some classic baseball. You get 2 guys going.
Yep.
Well, I didn't mute the mic tray, so I forgot about that. So we got a hot mic going on right now.
All good.
All good indeed.
We,
Looking for a classic 3-out save. Liam Goldwaite has pitched 2 innings so far, and he has been really clean, and so has the entire pitching staff today in both the first and second games for Wheaton.
somebody had one of those the other night for the Sox. I can't remember. It might have been Greg Weiser.
Oh, he might have gotten
I don't know, or it might have been Winkowski. I can't remember, but I know the Sox had one a couple nights ago.
Now, was that the game when they scored 9 runs, or was that the extra innings? I think it was the 9-runner.
I believe so, yep.
Yeah.
I think starter won a solid 6 and saved the bullpen with 3.
A heartbreaking loss last night after a Devers error that allowed 2 runs. Angels won 2-1. Red Sox going right now. Been going for about 2 hours. They had the lead when we last checked. The first pitch of inning number 9, bottom 9. And there is strike 2, a swing and miss. 2 strikes on Chris Ferrara. Last 3 outs for Emerson. They trail by 6.
Okay, let's go.
It is going to be strike 3 looking, and Ferrara not happy about that. Another strikeout. His 5th of the day, and Goldwaite, notably Trey, has not walked a soul.
It's been impressive. I've always said first pitch strikes are what wins baseball games.
Absolutely.
And when you can follow that up with strike number 2, you'll be in a good spot.
And that was what Chris Lowe was doing all game long until the 6th inning, when he finally broke down and Wheaton was able to knock 4 runs in. And ever since then, Wheaton has been winning the first pitch on offense and defense. They win this game with 2 more outs, up 7-1, looking for the long save, the 3-inning classic. That's a strike. So a 1-1 count now.
Now, I'm working off memory here, Evan, but I don't believe we have any errors in this second game. So like you were mentioning, it has been a nice defensive game. Obviously, Emerson would like to see that offense going, but we now have 2 out in the ninth.
That's back-to-back backwards Ks, 2 strikeouts looking as Braden O'Connell sits down. And there were a couple of those pitches he didn't like, and I don't blame him. A lot of those on the outside part of the plate, but when Liam Goldwaite's pitching the way he is,
Go. 8-3-5.
last out for Emerson. Anthony Santos Suoso stands in.
Here you go.
First pitch is ruled a ball.
Now, I'm always looking at the on-deck circle. I see Avery Smith with a bat in his hand, so if Santuso can move it along here, we may see Avery Smith in the ballgame.
Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Come on, Liam. Come on, kid. Get it. Come on, Lee. Let's go, Lee.
Goldwaite has struck out 6 in 2.2 innings of work so far. Ground ball right side. This should be it. Unassisted ground out to first. And that's that. Emerson drops both of the doubleheader as they lose this one 7-1. Wheaton propelled by their big sixth inning, 4 runs, all led by Mike Maher, who hit a 2-run homer to open the scoring. Chris Lowe, despite how well he pitched, will get the loss. The win will go to Ben Oliveira, who allowed just 1. Liam Goldwaite gets the save. 3 innings pitched for him as he gets the classic save. He struck out 6 batters. Thank you so much for listening and watching on PlaySite on Evan Sharrard Media. I am Evan Sharrard. I was just joined by Trey Fucillo and Lucas Sims doing the color for this game, the play-by-play for the first. Emerson drops both the first game and the second one, this one, and 7-1. Wheaton wins. Thank you all for listening. For Lucas Sims, Evan Sharrard, Trey Fucillo, so long, everyone.
Evan, it was a pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Quick flip of the page for both teams. Conference action on Tuesday. Make sure to tune in. Thank you, everyone. And Evan, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good night, everyone.